Fancy lad.
Fancy lad.
Fancy
Podcast Fancy lad.
Fancy
Podcast. Gonna talk to my friends. Gonna share a
Fancy
thought.
lad.
Gonna have a laugh. That's what I
Fancy
thought.
lad.
Fancy lad.
Fancy
Fancy
lad.
podcast. Fancy lad. Fancy lad
Fancy
podcast. Yeah.
And we are back.
Oh, yes, we are back. That is correct, Bigzo.
Oh, my God. And we've been so many places, I don't even know where we are anymore, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we're in the Fancy Lad podcast studio. And I'm only judging that by the at least 12-foot high ceilings.
Okay, I'm actually looking up for the first time now. Yeah, it's checking out.
We've got that ping pong table.
Right.
We got the map on the wall.
The map looks familiar.
We got, Reynolds' corpse over there.
It's been stinking.
Mm-hmm. Zebo over bouncing at the doors.
Oh, shit, Zebo.
Hey, what's up, bud?
Yo. Yeah, what's good, dog?
Yeah, he's kind of ignoring us.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's mad about the paychecks bouncing, but,
Dude, he's always acted like he was too cool for us since day fucking one, dude.
Honestly, since we put him on that fucking T-shirt,
Dude,
his head has gotten 10 times bigger.
I know. My God.
Mm-hmm. Big old dome.
It's like, he used to, spit at me when I walked in the door, and now he doesn't even bother doing that anymore.
You can't even get his glands salivating.
Like, I'm not even good enough to get spat upon by
No.
Zebo.
Man, that's low.
That is low.
That is low. And to all the listeners out there, you don't ever want to be that low.
No. Now, it's debatable whether I've hit rock bottom,
Mm-hmm. Oh, we won't know until you get there.
but I'm definitely close.
Oh, yeah, you're close.
Yeah. So
Maybe rock top,
well,
rock midway,
it's still great to be back in the rock midway.
not rock at the Midway Cafe, if that's what you're thinking. I'm just thinking like midway through,
Mm-hmm.
from bottom to top.
I got you.
Top to bottom.
Right. Sort of a glass is half full scenario,
Mm-hmm.
or empty.
Right. Yeah, so, or more of like a glass is like equally full and empty scenario.
Right. I'm talking about that surface area.
Oh, we're talking that surface area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Well, you've piqued my interest.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say it feels good to be back in the Fancy Lad Podcast studio.
Hey, it's nice to be back in the Fancy Lad podcast studio. We've been taking a little too many trips to the jungle.
God, the jungle and that trip to Hollywood.
Yeah, and honestly, you know what? Now that I say it, though, I am kind of missing the jungle, so I wouldn't be opposed to going back, maybe.
You like the jungle?
I mean, there's something about it, when you're there, you're like, God, this is miserable.
Yeah.
Why did I want to come here? But then when you leave, you're like, oh, that was really nice.
I think it's the sense of adventure that we had going.
I think it is the sense of adventure. I really did enjoy our time we spent swinging from vine to vine.
Yeah, you never know what would happen next,
Mhm.
Either you're swinging from vine to vine, trying to avoid all those pitfalls.
Oh, my God, don't get me started on the pitfalls.
Mm-hmm. Could be cracking open a fresh coconut, trying to avoid those pitfalls. Or just running for your life from various endangered species who want to see you dead. Trying to avoid those pitfalls. Yeah. Point being is that, looking back on it, we've accomplished a lot.
Oh, my goodness. And we've accomplished so much that I don't even really want to look back on it too much.
Right. No, neither do I.
I don't want to waste that much time on
No,
it.
I want to look forward and I want to be here now.
Mhm. I want to be here now, and I want to look forward, and I don't want to look back in anger.
No. I heard you say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
We are here now, and we're here in the Fancy Lad Podcast studio, and I know I don't want to look back, but thank God, those looks like somebody's actually cleaned those air holes that were in the walls.
Oh,
the oxygen.
The ventilation shafts. That AJ put in.
Right.
No, that was actually a friend of the podcast. You remember Mark Weiss?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he came by. He texted. He said he was really excited to inspect those ventilation shafts
Okay.
that AJ had installed.
Yep.
And he wanted to check them out. I texted AJ because we share the wall with him. I said, "Hey, Weiss is interested in coming to check out these ventilation shafts," and AJ responded quickest that he's ever responded. Instant. He's like, "He can come anytime."
Oh my God.
Yeah. And he said it was weird. He said he can come anytime. Also, I will make him come anytime. And that part I was confused about. I was like, how are you
Yeah.
going to make him come to the ventilation shafts?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I like to be here now,
Mm-hmm.
like I said. And, you know, we should talk about the biggest news in skateboarding that just happened.
The biggest news in skateboarding. Absolutely. I was thinking the exact same thing. And we're probably thinking the same headline as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to say it at the same time, we
Right.
could.
Kurt Cobain's daughter
is
dating Tony
Freddie
Hawk's son.
father. Damn it. I read it wrong. I thought she was dating Tony.
Is she? Was it Riley?
I
actually
think
was gonna
it
ask
is
you that.
Riley. It is Riley.
Or was it a various other lesser-known Hawk brother?
Oh, you think she's dating Calvin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I doubt it. No,
Yeah.
it was Riley.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Oh, thank God.
I was worried there for a second.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, now we have that sweet skateboard news for everybody out there. Because, you know, we like to cover the news as well.
We do like to cover the skateboarding news and the news in general.
Right.
We had that whole 30-minute segment on the royal family
Mm-hmm.
with Nancy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And honestly, we could have done more.
Right.
But that's just how involved we are in the day-to-day topics of the world goings-ons.
We got our pulse.
Mm-hmm. To the finger, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And we
we keep our pulse on the finger of the world.
Yeah, and we got our ear to the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm liking what I'm hearing.
Is it lots of like?
No, it's the sweet, sweet sounds of Francis Bean Cobain and Riley Hawk. Fuck.
Oh, so it's kind of like.
That's more like it.
Hell yeah, dude, that's fucking sick.
So, yeah, no, you know, but enough about the world. You know, I want to know what's going on with you, Tom.
Dude, you know, honestly, just doing a lot of research into Riley and Kurt Cobain's daughter's relationship.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. So what have you found out?
That when they fuck, it sounds kind of like.
Oh, so that was it.
I mean, that took a while to figure out.
Yeah,
You got to give me credit.
yeah. I'm sure it wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy, but what have you been up to, Bigzo?
Oh my God, I tell you. Well, you know what? Since you put me on the spot, I did think of a really funny joke.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to tell it?
Oh, like here on the podcast?
I mean, yeah. Well, I'll decide.
This
whether or
hardly
not
seems like the time or place.
I mean, that's true. I mean, the listeners might be okay with us taking a brief intermission for you to tell a joke, so they'll still hear, but just they'll know that like this is a joke part of it. So this doesn't go with the normal flow of the podcast, obviously.
Well, you know, you're familiar with Liz Phair, right?
Oh, yeah, am I?
Well, you know, there's a song called Fuck and Run. I don't know if you know it.
I'm familiar with the two concepts.
And, you know, there's a part that's I think a little too hot for TV. That's
Really?
Yeah, where she's going down all the ages where she would fucking run.
Ooh.
And she gets down to the age of 12, which I think is a little young.
I didn't start running till I was at least 14.
Exactly. So I'm thinking for the edit, for the radio, instead of fucking run, they switch it to fuck Enron.
Oh, yeah.
Am I right?
That makes more sense.
Because it sounds just like and run.
Right, but it's Enron.
Yeah.
And it's a topical thing
Right.
that most people will get.
You know, we like to stay current.
We do. And we said we have our pulse on the finger of the world.
Exactly.
And this is just another fine example of that.
And that's why I started collecting Beanie Babies as well.
Oh, well, now's the time. You can get them fairly cheap.
I know. I'm hoping that you buy low,
Yeah.
sell high.
At this point, I think they only charge like $1 a bean.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's not bad, honestly.
$1 Francis Bean Cobain.
That was good.
I don't know really what that would mean, actually.
Right.
That almost seems like she's a hooker. For $1. Like really.
Competitive prices.
I mean, at least it's not a dime store.
That's true.
I've heard of all these dime store hookers, and that seems like you're selling yourself short.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's less than a phone call at this point.
Seriously.
If you can find a payphone.
Right.
It's going to cost more than that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm saying to everybody out there, have a little, self-worth. Know your worth.
Oh, know your worth, despite what anyone else says.
Yeah. Someone comes up and doesn't even have the respect to spit at you when you walk through the door. You say, hey, listen, Buster.
Yeah, listen, Zebo.
If I was selling my sweet ass, I'd be at least selling it for more than $1.
At least. So that's at least that presumably $1.01, right?
Right. But I think we're getting off topic. This is almost sound like the dirty zone now.
This almost does sound like dirty zone, which isn't. That's not that. That's it. We don't give that up for free.
No.
That don't come up for free.
No.
You can't get that from going to patreon.com/FancyLadPodcast, though.
Thank you, Tom, and for informing our listeners. And but I want to get back on the topic, which is skateboarding, because
that sounds good.
Every single podcast. I don't know if you've noticed this recently. We've been having a guest.
Oh, so we should probably get one for this one.
Yeah. But you know what? It's like the tier has been so high. It's been like, legendary Canton Russell, fucking William Spencer, literally a person running for the president of skateboarding, Peter Granis.
And let us not forget Bigzo's mom, Nancy.
Of course. It's like, it's going to be tough to outdo ourselves, but I think that we got a shot here.
You know what? We've been outdoing ourselves our whole lives.
I know.
I'm either doing myself or outdoing myself.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Right. You're going to make
I'm usually in doing myself.
Right. Oh, I like to make it public.
Yeah, exactly.
I want everyone to know.
Oh, he likes to shout it from the rooftop.
And that is honestly, that's brought up some serious issues. I saw Get Back came out. I thought okay, obviously this hasn't been an issue. People are fine with this. Not so cool with it. Even if you have Peter Jackson there shooting it.
Wait, Peter Jackson's shooting it too?
Oh, God, yeah, we were all shooting it all over the place.
All right, you know what? Save it for the dirty zone.
Okay, you know what? This isn't the dirty zone.
I think we need to take a quick break and then come back.
With a guest.
Definitely with a guest. And I think we need to find someone on our same level.
And I'm thinking someone legend status.
Legend status on our same level of,
Legend status.
Legend status.
Right, yeah, for sure.
I was going to say legend potential, but no, you said it better.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Life as a southern sheriff can be pretty taxing. Taxing on the mind, taxing on the body, and taxing on the soul. That's why when I'm feeling my most decaffeinated and dehydrated, I reach for a mocha sombrero. Mocha sombrero. A Mexican-style chocolate stout with additions of coffee and vanilla. All right, no, I'm trying to do the script here. All right, if you're just going to keep doing that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, it's got coffee. It's got coffee and it's got vanilla. I don't care if you're doing the back. It's got coffee and vanilla, and it's a stout recipe. And the malt flavors, the sweet vanilla. Jesus, oh my God. This is very distracting. Very distracting. If you want to know more about Mocha Sombrero from Clown Shoes Beer, why don't you go ahead and visit clownshoesbeer.com. Go on now, get
Yeah.
And we are back.
Oh, my goodness, we are back. And that Bigzo, that was a good break.
Oh, my God, Tom, I hate to say it, but it was just one of those breaks you dream about.
Oh, my goodness, and I hate to say it, but we're going to have to save the Dreaming About Breaks talk for the Dreaming About Breaks podcast, which will come at a later date.
Which is in the works.
It is in the works.
But in the meantime, I just wanted to really quickly crack into one of these Clown Shoes brand beers.
Oh, man, and what kind is that?
It's a Bubble Farm.
Oh, that's a Bubble Farm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good flavor. I like the Bubble Farm.
Nice and drinkable, you know?
I went with the...
Oh, Jesus.
I was looking for something a little heavier, so I went with the Mocha Sombrero.
Oh, God. Sometimes it's great for the wintertime.
Mocha.
And a great song. But we'll get to, we'll have to save our talk about all the Clown Shoes commercials for the Clown Shoes commercials podcast spinoff.
Which isn't this.
But since we're on the Fancy Lad podcast, why don't we introduce our very special guest?
That's a good idea.
Legendary skateboarder.
Right.
And you know what? Fellow cut from the same cloth, sort of fringe skater, Nate Sherwood.
Hello.
Lord of the pressure flip.
I'm honored to be here today, gentlemen. Super honored, man. I couldn't agree more, man. We're cut from similar cloth, man. We mess with the same fabric all day, every day, man, for sure. Us esoteric skateboarders, man, we got to hang together and not be fragmented. I don't get too granular on that, but I agree with you completely, man.
I know.
We both enjoy ourselves.
I know. I asked that friend trick from you. Seems like ages ago now for the FL3 video.
Yep, FL3 video. Yeah, man, I was stoked. You sandwiched me in the friend section right next to Richie Jackson. I was honored to be in there, man. Yeah. FL3, yeah, man, I was stoked, man. Yeah, we had that video playing in the shop on Heavy Rotation, man. Like, I remember that, man. And yeah, absolutely, man. I was honored to be in there, man, for sure. It means a lot to us, old men like me. You know, so like I said, you guys are the iconoclasts of skateboarding right now, man. You guys are pushing the envelope and breaking down walls. You know, I like that. You guys are doing what MC Escher or Salvador Dali did with art, or Miles Davis did with jazz music, or Jack Kerouac did with poetry. It's rad to see what you guys are doing, what you guys are inventing, the different trick selections that you guys are coming up with and all that stuff. It's like you guys took what Simon Woodstock was doing and you know, boom, took it from just the Alexander Graham Bell dial-up phone to the iPhone. You know what I mean? I love seeing that, man, for real. It's awesome to see what you guys are inventing all the time, what you guys are skating with it. And I'm telling you, that's what keeps skateboarding alive and beautiful, man. If it wasn't for this creative, mindset in it, it'd be the most dull, bland, regurgitated shit all the time. It's hard to articulate that, but I can only see so much of the same repeated tricks. So it's really nice to see you guys out there pushing the envelope and pushing the bounds of what's possible on a skateboard.
Well, I appreciate that. I couldn't have said it better myself. And through all those comparisons, I think that what you're getting at is that we both consider skateboarding an art form, all those comparisons. Oh, my God, Miles Davis, MC Escher, Dolly.
I agree.
Jack Rodolfer.
Yeah, Jack Kerouac. And, Hamm's is our favorite beer. And, Neil Cassidy, when he set off on the Merry Pranksters, my friend told me they were drinking Hamm's when they left.
Awesome.
Coincidence? I think not. I think not.
The land, sky, blue waters, man. I feel that skateboarding is a performance art that masquerades as a sport. You know what I mean? It has that flexion where it has to masquerade as a sport. So like the jock, like narrow-headed, like high and tight haircut dads understand it, so they let their kids do it, right? But at the end of the day, really, there's camaraderie. You have more respect when you see someone like, let's just say, for instance, Dave Vey and the Texas, the Boston Massacre video doing a 5-0 tray flip out on a bench. Did you seen a guy how many times he can frontside grind in a bowl and count his points in a 45-second run, right? So, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where things get regurgitated, and I agree, man. I really think of it as like I said already. I won't get too repetitive. It's a performance art, and I think it's in that same facet as that, man. And yeah, Hamm's is great, man. From the land, sky, blue waters. I used to drink a lot of Hamm's. I used to love that shit, man. That's a great beer, man.
Dude,
is Anchor Steam? Wait, no, not Anchor's. What's the name of that beer from Boston? It's got Anchor in it. It's like, oh shit. It's Boston Whale. No, not Boston Whale. That's a boat. What the hell's the beer I had when I was out there? It's like, help me out. Colin Fiskord for them for a while, right? Beer company I'm thinking of, man. It's gonna kill me. It'll come back to me in like 3 hours. Anyway,
Sam Adams.
Nah, not. Of course, Sam Adams. Everyone knows that one. It was.
No, I think
you know what? Next time
Anchor Steam is the one with the anchor. I think that is Anchor Steam. I don't know if that's out in Mass, but maybe Weiss was working.
Yeah, I think Anchor Steam. I thought they were out in California, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think they're a Bay Area one. I'm mixing them up with the Bay Area one. Your Anchor Steam's like NorCal. You're right, man. Speaking of NorCal, I saw your Fort Miley footage. That was rad. You doing the pressure flip over the hip at Fort Miley, by the way, man.
Thank you.
Little homage to Chris Bissell there. I saw that. That was sick, dude. That was badass. I
had to pressure flip the EMB3 while I was there.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah.
Ice skating rink in the background, little kids ice skating and shit. And you're like pressure flipping, breaking a board. I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, I mean, the common ground that is so obvious between you and Fancy Lad, is obviously the pressure flips. I mean, come on. I mean, now there's a pressure flip renaissance that has resurged in the skate community. Now everyone's doing it. Figgy, Colin Provost, Cater. Those are 3 people who all skate for Baker. They're all doing pressure flips. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's the resurgence is amazing. I'm truly blown away and baffled by it, you know. And what's really funny is how the critiquers, like the cool guys, if you will, for lack of a better term, the guys in the industry, they've always been kind of elitist and kind of snub-nosed. You know, it's like it's always comical to me to see how the waves shift with them. Like, I remember fighting tooth and nail to get a pressure flip published. I'll never forget, like, literally, I was writing for this truck company. This is like summer of 1997, right? I'm fresh out of high school. I go down to the Bay Area. This guy, Matt Cole, owns this truck company at the time, Elevate Trucks, right? And long story short, I'm living in Pacific on his couch for the summer, trying to do that fresh out of high school, live the dream, fucking getting out of Portland, Oregon, you know, fucking trying to make every connection I can in the industry. And I take the sequence that this guy, Kurt Hines, shot at me. It was a frontside shove pressure flip 50-50 to shove out on like a butter bench, whatever, normal size butter bench. And I take the slides into High Speed Publications and I talk to Evan Sterling. He's like, yeah, this is cool. We could run this. He's looking through it with the loop. Jake Phelps walks into the office and like just looks at me. He's like, who are you? I'm like, oh, I'm Nate. And it was weird. I met him years prior, but I would expect him to remember me. He's like, oh, and he's like, what's going on here? What's on the light table? I'm like, oh, look at it. I explained what it was. Pressure flip 50. Looks at it through his loop. He's like, we don't run no pressure flips. Fuck that. Get the hell out of here. And he walks right out the door and slams the door. I was like, oh shit. Now here you are a million years later. Again, pressure flips are cool. And because someone was, atoned by the Pope of skateboarding that has the right backing, the right sponsors, the right, money behind them, like Colin Provost or Figgy or any of those guys, they'll run pressure flips all fucking day. But if you go in there as someone that's not backed by the right fucking sponsors, you'll get fucking laughed out and thrown out, right? So it's really comical to me to see how that is. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, it's weird to see that circle of things, like longboards or another thing like that, right? Like, people are all shitting on longboards, but then like fucking Gons will have a cover skating a fucking longboard practically, right? Doing something, but yet like, it's weird. I don't understand the skateboarding, like the weird, I don't know, the hate crimes in skateboarding make no fucking sense to me. They really don't. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's really, really strange and obtuse. And it's like acute pain where like, you're like, why is there this double standard? Why is it like this guy can go huck himself, dark slide handrail, he gets made fun of, but this guy over here, dark slide handrail, because he's backed by these guys, he's going to get he's going to get all the coverage and all the kudos and the, fucking, confetti parade and shit. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's weird,
Yeah, and I think we talked about this with William Spencer for a bit as well, where it's just like, it's like if you don't have like the sponsor to like back it and like pay for it, then it's not like it automatically is not cool content for them to run. Well, you know what I mean?
Well, he was saying that you need to have the bigger brands that are paying for the ads in the mag to even get an article in the mag in the first place. So that's why he was saying that it's like, right. He thought he was just going to show up, do a cool trick, and then they would all just be, jumping for joy to put him in the mag. But that's not necessarily the case because you got an industry behind it and you need to sell product. And you need to make and you need to make money to actually keep running the magazine too. So I get it from both ends,
Right. I mean, it's just interesting though. It's always been that way, and it's like, I remember that, being an 18-year-old kid, just being like, oh shit, like, I guess I'm just 10 years too late for this. No one cares about this shit. Justin Gerard and Chris Fissel were a while ago. It was just interesting, but like how you see that circle come around, like you see it in music too all the time, right? You know what I mean? You see it all the time. Some will sound like an old soul group. Some will sound like, like I said, fucking, they'll sound like, I don't know, whatever, Hootie and the Blowfish. They'll sound like some weird shit from 1997 or whatever. And, it's just full circle, but it's interesting to see that. I find it funny how much pavement I fought uphill battles just to try to keep the pressure up alive, razor tailing my shit every state to state, everywhere, and just getting shit on constantly. Now it's like accepted. It's funny. And I know it's comical. It's like everything else now where you're like, wow, this is what it kind of felt like to be this person. Like being a fucking person beating on a 5-gallon bucket in a city square at one time was just considered noise. You get a noise ordinance ticket. Now it's like, oh, it's art. It's cool. And then all of a sudden, fucking, before you know it, Lady Gaga's got a bunch of dudes beating 5-gallon buckets in the back of her video. You know what I mean? It's the same fucking thing. It's ridiculous. It's strange. It's like, I feel like skateboarding is the bedrock of conformity, even though it markets itself as this thing where you can be on the fringe or creative, or, you can be yourself. And I just remember that moment, like I said, Jake Phelps, where it was an eye-opening, find out Santa Claus wasn't real situation. You know what I mean? It was like, holy shit, even though it was like 5 years ago, I'm still just like, holy shit, that was like how crass and harsh and cutthroat it was, you know?
Yeah.
And at that time there was no internet, so there was no voice at all. Now, of course, people are lucky. You can just fucking whatever. You can control your own marketplace. You can be your own fucking boss with that, for lack of a better term. You know, I don't really know how to put it in a
exactly
in my vernacular or anywhere than that. But you know, at that time you were at the mercy of who could put out a VHS tape with your shit in it to show content that was distributed or to put you in print. And you know, if you're trying to showcase something different than the norm, it was like, fuck you, which was so strange to me because, you know, coming from Portland, Oregon, where everyone was open-minded and fucking people have stores on corners selling just crystal healing and fucking, I could go on about all the new age shit, but it was like strange going into an environment of California where it was like, I thought it was going to be like that and it wasn't at all. It was like this, like I said, this Pinocchio situation where it's just like, holy fuck, dude, like this is some fairy dust bullshit. Like everyone is just a fucking asshole in this place. Get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
As soon as I can. You know,
I mean,
I don't know.
That was a very different time, you know, and yeah, like you said, it was a very different time for the trick selection and also just the way skateboarding was progressing. And yeah, you're not like, now you could be a kid with like 20,000 followers and you don't even need to reach out to a brand. Like back in like those days, you're like making a VHS to like try to send out to all these brands through maybe your shop if you're lucky to try to get sponsored. To have this crazy dream of being a pro skater, crazy dream, you know, to have in the first place. But did you first learn pressure flips from all the old like Plan B videos, or even before that? Like, what was the inspiration for all the pressure flips?
It's cool that you asked that, man. It was interesting. I mean, so I grew up right across the river from Portland, Oregon, Vancouver, Washington, which is just a suburb of it. It would be kind of like, I don't know, Middlebury, Massachusetts, or Ipswich or something to Boston. I guess probably be a good analogy for, you know, your local listeners.
This guy knows a lot of Massachusetts.
Yeah, I've been through there. I like Mass. I like you guys, man. I've ridden the Boston T. I've cruised around. I listen to 7L and Esoteric. You know, I can get down. You know,
oh, hell yeah.
I've been to the Middle East. It's all right. You know, I've been to Harvard Square, the Commons, been to Fenway. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I could go on about that forever. I love that place. But you know, it was interesting. Like what happened is I tore a ligament in my flick foot. I was trying to. This is summer of what was it? 1991. I want to say summer of 91. Sorry, had to think about that. It was a while ago, and I've been skating since '87 at that point. So you know, I already went through the launch ramp phase, the rip grip, the 1 foot tail grab shit, Bones Brigade, you know, blah blah, H Street, etc. Right, and so. I fucking tore a ligament in my front foot. I was laid up in a boot. I couldn't skate. When I was getting back on my board, of course, physical therapy wasn't like it is now. Technology wasn't like it is now. Doctors didn't give a fuck about skateboarders like they do now. Everything was just different in 1991 than it would be now. I mean, completely just different universe. Snap-on bracelets, hypercolor shirts, you know, MC Hammers on the radio every 2 minutes, you know, that kind of shit. And so I had this fucked up issue with my flick foot, and I was wearing a boot, and I finally got, you know, okay to skate again, but my foot was never moving. You know, it wasn't articulating the way it should to, you know, flick kick flips or heel flips properly. And friend John Pitt came over and was like, dude, there's this guy, Chris Fissel. He goes to the same church as me. He does this thing called a pressure flip. And I'm like, oh, what? And he's like, dude, it doesn't require any flip. Like, I think you'd be good at it. I think it might be a blessing in disguise. And he was like super religious. He had this epiphany, like, dude, it's like, it's good to be like your thing. I'm like, what, dude, what do you mean? He's like, no, you got to meet Chris. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. Like, being a kid, you know, whatever I was at that time, 11 years old, 10 years old, you know, it was just kind of like, okay, Chris Fissel does a thing called a pressure flip. I know what a pressure cooker is. My mom has one in the kitchen, whatever. And so like, anyway, there was like this organization in Oregon at the time called OASA, Oregon Amateur Skateboarding Association. And it was ran by Matt Beach's parents, actually. And Jamie Fortune's dad was involved with it too. And Dave Huff's family was, and I could go on, all these Portland legends were involved with it. But anyway, I won't go down that diatribe too much. You'll be here all night. And so I go to this OASA comp in Eugene, Oregon, which is about an hour and 40 minutes from my house, you know, like piled in the car with my mom, you know, blah, blah, blah. Me and John go down there. We're, you know, I'm skating around the parking lot, just like your typical parking lot setup, you know. And I meet this Chris Fissel dude, this Chris Fissel guy that I heard about. And I'm pushing around, just kind of bummed out that I'm still recovering from the ankle injury. We all know that pain. We've all been there when you're back on your board, but you can't do half of it, or not even 90% of what you normally could do. Everyone's ripping around you and you're kind of feeling left out. And Chris Fizzle comes to me, he's like, yeah, dude, John tells me you want to learn pressure hoops. I'm like, yeah, sure, And so anyway, like total sword in the stone, King Arthur's situation. Homeboy teaches me how to scoop and how to angle my foot, pigeon-toed in the back. And I learned pressure hoops that day after many, many trials and errors. Anyway, I returned home and I just start thinking, man, you could do all kinds of variances of this. That winter, winter of 91, before Christmas, the Deal is Dead video comes out. The Deal is Dead. The spoof of the Deal is cool.
New Deal.
Chris Fizzle's part. Yep. New Deal. Exactly. Chris Fizzle's parts on there. He's blazing pressure hoops. Him and Ron Knigge are in there. You know what I mean? All those New Deal legends are all in that video, just killing it. Right? I mean, Julio De La Cruz. Yep. Exactly. He's got the crazy, bungee thing going on with the inner tubes, right? All that. And I'm just inspired. This is my world. This is what I'm going to do. Just get tech as fuck and just scoop everything, all that jazz. This sounds like everything I need to do with my life. And so I just started seeing different video parts, and I basically would emulate what someone was doing, either heel flip or kick flip, but with a pressure flip variation. So Harold Hunter dropped his part in 1-800 Sky Pager not long after that. The Underworld Element video. He has the laser flip down like a little 3-stair. So I was like, I bet I could scoop that like a pressure flip. So I take my frontside shove pressure flips and I did it, 360 like that, right? I saw Frank Carrata doing big spin pressure flips on flat ground. I thought, oh, maybe I can do that over a gap, right? I mean, it just kind of built like that. I mean, I could go on for hours. There was a million different things like that. I saw, let's see, I'm trying to think, you saw Mike Carroll doing kickflip crooked grinds. I was like, I bet I could pressure flip crooked grind. You know what I mean? So it was just one of those things where I would just see a video, then I'd be like, I bet I can do that, but with a pressure flip, right? Because I had no choice in the matter. I couldn't flick anymore. It's kind of like being, having a handicap, right? It was like, well, I can't kickflip into that. I could pressure flip into it, So it was just this kind of uphill fight where, your friends would be learning the new cool trick. I remember my friend Brent Marks he was in the video Untitled from Birdhouse. Brent Marks, good friend of mine. We were still really close.
Great video.
Anyway, Brent and his brother Rod, great guy. Brent and Rod, they were skating the schoolyard that was, this place we used to all skate called Holiday Schools, kind of our EMB or whatever, for lack of a better term in Portland, I guess would be the best analogy for it. And he was doing tray flip nose slides. Again, I'm going to do a tray pressure flip nose slide. So it was just kind of one of those things where I'd build off all this stuff. And before I know it, organically just started happening. All because of this really strange blessing in disguise of a horrific injury that didn't heal properly, which was, really obtuse at the time and kind of strange, but it was how I got into pressure flips, which is
the limitation there forced you to be pretty creative.
Yeah, and, you're right. I mean, from confines comes freedom in some cases, right?
Rodney Mullen explains it well, where he's talking about the skateboard trick sort of, everyone learning from each other. He compares it to computer software developers. If they showed showed each other all their data while they're doing it, so they can actually learn from each other,
Yeah, Rod's got a point there, man. He's funny. I mean, he's an eccentric man, and all the beautiful ways that word can be, meant as well. I mean, he's brilliant, man. Any time spent with him, like you said, he's very calculated. He's very he's very all about muscle memory and kinesiology. When you skate with him, the most interesting thing, I'll never forget this time. I was at Fullerton High School, which is, you guys have probably been there. It's just Orange County, south of LA, bullshit suburb. And it was me and Cooper Wilt and Sue Trin go to skate this mantle pad. And Sue Trin, who was the, photographer for Transworld at that point in time, and, legendary DeWindle photographer before that, shot a lot of ads. If anytime you see a photo with the caption Trin, that's who shot it. Yeah. Anyway, we're skating there, and I'm just fucking beating the living shit out of myself. Years later, he was famous for shooting that Rodney Mullen Transworld cover with the big water through the plexiglass box to the Primo slide. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we're skating the schoolyard, and I'm just dying. I'm trying to do this tray pressure manual, and then there's a gap in the manual pedal. I'm trying to all over the nose manual, and then shove it to manual to shove it pressure rope out, right? And I'm just dying on the hole. I'm hanging up. We all know that feeling. Just like you guys, when you guys do that back flip where you're threading the needle to that box thing, I'm sure you had a couple of those hang-ups on that too. It's the same type of motion as that, right? Where you have to kind of guide through it, and try not to hang up. Anyway, I'm dying, right? And CU gets on his phone. He's like, dude, just do it. He's giving me shit. He gets on speakerphone. This is back in the Motorola, extended antenna days, pre, smartphone shit. And he puts Rodney Mullen on speakerphone. I don't know who he's talking to. He's like, hey, I got someone's going to give you some advice.
Nice.
And CU was explaining to Rodney, full Vietnam style, okay, he's leaning back this far on his pelvis, he is, you know what I mean, he's saying all this weird shit. And Rodney's like, hey man, what you need to do, okay? So like Nathan, like here's what you need to do, Nathan. Like, okay, like you need to like keep your front foot over the bolts, because like if you don't, like you're gonna skid again, and it's just like not gonna be good, okay? And so like, and he just gets all tech, like he gets all Mr. Wizard, like kind of like a voice cracking version of Yoda, right? I was just like sitting there like, what the fuck? Am I talking to Rodney Mullen right now? This is the fucking weirdest moment of my life. Like, holy shit, I've died, right? Like, this is God talking to me, right? Like, what the fuck? Like my hero in life, like talking to me via phone. And he's like, okay, man, now, you know, you need to like think back for the thing is with that is like, he starts getting all kinesiology. He's like, what you need to do is make sure your arm is more tucked in. Like, he can't even see me, but the way Stu was explaining how I'm fucking up and like in his sarcastic manner to him, somehow his computer type brain, MIT brain, explained it. I'm like, thank you, Rodney. I appreciate the advice. Stu hangs up the phone. 4 tries later, I get the trick. I was like, what the fuck? So yeah, he's tech, man. That guy is like, I mean, he's my hero. I was just like, what the fuck is going on? I just talked to Rodney Mullen on a phone call. Like, I hadn't met him yet at this point, but I was just like, okay, that's crazy. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, I take that back. I think I met him at Tampa and Slam City Jam before that, but not like I knew him. It was more like a, hey, dude, you're my hero. Shake your hand. Bye. You know, I was all like super shy, like, fuck, Rodney Mullen. Holy fuck. Hi, you're my hero. I'm going to say hello and wave and smile and walk away because this is fucking crazy.
What a skate of consciousness that he has, you know?
Yeah, it is, man. You know what I mean? He does. It was so funny. I mean, I saw him. I got to know him really well after that, obviously, as time would go on, of course. You know, I mean, I listened to your guys' Canton Russell interview, and it was so funny how many similarities me and him had with our experiences with people. And other great, I mean, I guess Peter Smolk just lives with Mountain Dew in his pocket, because when I met Peter Smolk, it was almost the exact same way Canton met him, except it was in a parking garage, not in a Meyer Frank parking lot. And there's this thing that would happen in Pacific Beach every Thursday where this group of dudes, Jeff King and them, would bring flat bars and stuff to this, you know, parking garage, and everyone would skate and stuff and party and hang out and do whatever, you know, bump bass and be all crazy. Anyway, first time I met Smolk, same thing. He does this backside tail slide kickflip out. As soon as he's rolling away, he pulls out of his cargo hold a big old thing of that red, what is it, Code Red Mountain Dew in Texas.
Yeah, Code Red.
And I was like, dude, how do you do that? Like, I can't skate with a phone number in my pocket, right? Like, I got to stretch for an hour. This guy, like, meanwhile, does this with like his ballast all off. That's like a ship with too much ballast on one side. Like, I don't know how he fucking did that. Like, it's phenomenal. And when I heard that in the Canton Russell interview, the guys, I was laughing my ass off because I was like, oh my God, like, how does he do that? Like, you don't skate with a fucking giant bottle of Mountain Dew or any liquid in your fucking pockets. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah. He loves his goddamn Mountain Dew. Doctors think he's crazy because he loves the goddamn Mountain Dew so much.
He does. I'm surprised he's not 300 pounds, though, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, when I drink nothing but sugar, I get huge, man. I get giant. I got to do sit-ups and shit. I got to, like, go on the Danny Way program after that. But that motherfucker can just somehow chug that shit and just be perfectly fine and not get fat and still skate. Yeah. Great. Amazing. I mean, you know, just him and, you know, he's a blessed guy, you know what I mean? Just like fucking
another fucking legend, Peter Smolk. But
you got to switch to the Code Red. That's the thing.
Yeah, the Code Red. Yeah.
So
Code Red.
Yeah, you used to skate with Jeff King.
Absolutely.
He was in the Caught Clean videos with Laban, right?
Yep, absolutely, yep. And American Misfits before it became a spinoff of Built to Shred. So yeah, I worked on all those projects with Fuel TV. That was interesting how I met. Well, I mean, I knew Jeff King just from when I moved to San Diego, and I got
you weren't in Caught Clean though, or Caught Clean 2, were you?
No, I wasn't. I was still in Portland when all those came out, but I know of them. I would go up and down the coast and visit friends, but I was not like in that I guess you could say that atmosphere, that I don't know, Freemasons fucking Blue Lodge, Hiram Abiff type thing of that yet. But I was not in those, but I know the videos, of course, all the juggling, all the awesomeness. I actually got fired from Transworld because of Caught Clean, though. I got a great story about Caught Clean. So yeah, it's fucked up. I mean, this is some. It's hindsight. It's hilarious. I laugh about it now. At the time, I was depressed like a clutch. But so I used to write this column, The Overwords of Nate Sherwood, for Transworld. Rest in peace, Eric Stricker, the guy that got me the job. Mm-hmm. And you know, long story short, basically they'd have these little columns like top 10 this, top 10 mics, top 10 whatever. And I did the top 10 video skits of all time, right? Mm-hmm. And one of them was going to be Caught Clean. And John Holland, who was working at Transworld at the time as the videographer, like, you know, the guy that made a lot of the videos there, obviously, Sight on Scene, you know, we could go on, you know, many of the Transworld videos, you know, Reason, blah, 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 with John Holland on it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And anyway, I thought one of the skits would be cool is to put John Holland in there, because John Holland actually played one of the FBI agents in Caught Clean. If you look closely, it's John Holland. It's all clean shaven as the FBI earpiece after, like, it goes nuclear and like, blows up the world. That's like John Holland. I thought it'd be cool to mention, right? John Holland not wanting to affiliate himself with Laban for some weird beef that was like some stupid shit over a girl from a million years prior, which is just super catty 8th grade bullshit. If you ask me, as an adult, you shouldn't give a fuck, but he didn't want to be affiliated with that. He's like, he saw it at Blue Line, which is basically the fancy word for saying the day before deadline, like 24 hours before it needs to go to print. And he's like, no, you need to change that skit now. You need to change that skit now. Take that out of there. And like, I had 9 other skits. I don't remember all of them right now off the top of my head, but like typical, skate industry skit shit out videos. And I was like, oh fuck. Okay. I got to swap that out. So Gretchen, the copyright editor, she's like, you just think of a skit real quick. It's not gonna be that hard. Just rewrite one. So without doing research and obviously not having like now where you can just Google all easy and fucking get an iPhone and do shit, not having like a VHS tape in front of my face, under the pressure of the gun, I fucking said Streets of Fire, Jason Jesse in jail, and in that article I wrote somewhere about Skip Elmbaum being the jailer in there. And it turns out the guy that was the jailer just looks like Skip Elmbaum, and it's a big misconstrued thing that's not him. It's just some other, old school fucking Venice dude, right? And anyway, fucking Skin Phillips finds out about this after it's in print, after it goes out to 85,000 copies. It's like, oh, you did do your research on that article, and there's a lot of hot water coming down from me from HS, so we're gonna have to let you go. Which is just the dumbest thing to ever get let go over in my life, like literally. But Skin Phillips, it was like one of those cutthroat, like stupid, like we're getting a lot of shit, so we got to like make an example of you. But also like it was like weird. It was like, why can't you just print an apology or something over that? But I don't think anyone liked me there except fucking honestly Eric Stricker. Now I think about it, but it's weird that Cog Clean got me fired from Transworld like a million years later after it was released. But Jeff King I met. I got involved with Laban and Ted and, American Misfits and all that stuff. I met Laban Phidias and Ted Newsom through Willie Santos because they came and did this thing for 200 Horse Productions of his skate shop for this like weird insert DVD, like when DVDs were still the new thing, in this weird short-lived magazine called the Skateboard Trade News that Adam Sullivan ran. And I met them like going to get lunch with Willie Santos, and Willie Santos, being the carnivore that he is, decided to take them to a sushi place, and they're both vegan, right? And I'm like, dude, I even said it to them, like, as we're sitting out at the restaurant, I'm like, I don't know what's here for you guys. And like, they were surprised I knew that about them just because I read a Laban interview a million years prior to that. I was like, these guys don't eat anything that's derived from dairy or animals or anything. They're like, they got all stoked. And I was like, shit. So we geeked out, exchanged numbers, befriended each other. A couple months later, they called me up. Long story short, Laban's like, hey, we want to do this thing called American Misfits, and we'd love to have you involved. We want to do this skit called Notorious Nate. It's basically you being the hyper spaz you are and just geeking out with pro skaters, and we're going to go to spots and do stuff. You down? I was like, absolutely. And so that's kind of how I got to know Jeff King really well. I would crash at their house in LA all the time in Echo Park. I got to meet Keither Sutherland through them because he was the guy that was funding the show, which is really weird. That was the strangest fucking thing ever. Laban and Ted were really close to Kiefer, and Ted Newsom knew Keither because Ted used to work for some fashion magazine. Isn't that fucking weird? Isn't that the weirdest thing ever? Keither Sutherland was a producer of a skateboard TV show. How weird is that?
I love that.
It's very strange.
The Lost Boy himself.
Connection. Literally.
Yeah.
I know. I'll never forget meeting the guy and just being like, holy fuck, this is so weird. Like, I'm sitting here looking at Lost Boys, dude, like Jack Bauer shit. I tried not to fanboy out, but
I would love to see a season of 24 based around that.
I know, right? Jack Bauer's got to go help the skateboard punks,
Jack, listen, this guy Nate Sherwood's running his mouth. We need you to go make an example of him, if you know what we mean.
Exactly.
No, do you mean just like fire him from Transworld? Yeah, that's what we mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how about fucking oh my God, you guys are involved in that SAG scene, Screen Actors Guild scene. I saw Black Friday, and Dave, due to Dave Bay's post on Facebook, I went and watched it. Congratulations on that, by the way. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's
I
actually I wanted to be an extra in that movie, but they wouldn't let me because I wasn't actually a SAG actor. They had to. This was during. Well, we're still in COVID, but this was like, right in the thick of COVID, so they needed everybody to be SAG actors on set.
Yeah, they're gnarly. That SAG card is gnarly. I paid like, I think $350 for mine back in the day, and it saved me so much. It was kind of expensive at the time, it felt like, but it was like, I did some stunt work in Lords of Dogtown, and obviously a lot of that Field TV stuff and all that stuff required it, and it was like, it's weird how they make you rock that shit. They're very, 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 what's the word for it? Meticulous about it. Yeah, they get weird about that stuff, man. I'm sorry that you got fucked over on that, man. That sucks.
No, that's cool. It just would have been funny being like, my real dream is being an extra in a Happy Madison production. So, I should get it for that.
Dude, that would be the greatest fucking thing ever. Me too, man. I would fucking cut my dick off and throw it under a school bus. I do that anyway.
That works perfect for the plot of the new Happy Madison production coming.
Right, exactly. It sounds like Happy Madison. He has to change the tire down the street and have to have it put back on.
Oh, my dick! You cut it off and threw it under a bus.
Was that Leprechaun or was that Adam Sandler?
I think that was a good Sandler.
Dude, you sounded like him. You did a good impression. Holy shit!
All right, hit me with the shabada hoo.
Oh, a shabada hoo.
Oh my god,
that was more. That was almost more
Holy
like Conan
fuck, dude,
doing.
Mr. Conan,
Yeah.
You need to be fucking. You need to be. Oh my god, you sound like Adam Sandler. Holy shit, man, that's frightening. How good you do that impression.
Thank you.
Holy
so much.
shit. That would be in there though. Just them throwing their dick under a bus. They have to chase it down. And Steve Buscemi has to peel it out the tread. The surgery get it put back on. It's on backwards.
I've been trying to hit up Lorne Michaels and tell him to hire Tom just to imitate all the cast members from the Sandler era of Saturday Night Live.
I think that'd be.
You got Sandler, you got Dana Carvey, you got Farley. Bring them all back via Tom.
And I could do Dom Pardo as well.
Yeah,
fucking great guys.
Musical guest Nate Sherwood.
Dude, that's pretty fucking legit. I gotta hire you to do a commercial for my skate shop at that point.
Dude, you should. Hey, I do voice acting, so hey, I'm here. I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get you to do the next Edge-Skate commercial for YouTube, bro.
Oh, dude,
I'll be
I'm
like,
down.
Edge-Skate, 15% off pepper grip tape, whatever. Watch out, I'm gonna hit you up about that, dude.
Yeah, you write the copy, and I'll lay down the lines.
Deal. Yes. I need it, man, for our local radio and TV shit. That'd be perfect. Next time we need an ad spot, watch the fuck out, man. I'm gonna have you do the Lorne Michaels, hey, musical guest. Like, oh my god, you're freaking me out. Good you do that. I am, dude. You're my hero. That's fucking nuts. Dude, holy shit, man! I saw that you guys got to stay the night at Chris Naracco's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I was gonna bring up. Weren't you on the cover of Big Brother?
I was. I did have the cover. Yep. I got my ass kicked. Johnny Knoxville's daughter beat the living shit out of me on that cover. Yeah, it fucking hurt.
Was your cover the one that was hated and misunderstood, or was that Todd Falcon?
Was me.
That was you.
No, that was me, man. Yeah,
I remember I had that issue. Yeah.
I'm doing a pogo and shit, and it's like sunset.
And you're frowning, and and Johnny Knoxville's daughter's there. Yeah, I remember the cover very viviidly.
Beating the living shit out of me. Yeah.
So I forget, why were you hated and misunderstood?
Pressure flips. I mean, really. I mean, I guess I'm a spazzy hyper guy at the same time, but really 90% of it. I mean, I would say, I know it comes from a biased heart here, but it was my trick selection. I mean, it was a very, at that point in time, like you said, it was after that first wave of pressure flips. In the late 80s, early 90s, right? Big pants, small wheels era. And it was between that and at that, and now, of course, right, where we're dealing with them everywhere. You turn on the internet, you can't miss you see a pretzel everywhere, which is awesome. Props on the pretzel board slide down the handrail, by the way, to your dude,
Matt Tomasello.
Thank you. I was like,
I taught Matt pressure flips. Okay, he might be better at everything compared to me, but I taught him pressure flips, and no one can take that away from me.
Mm-hmm. Bro, you are gnarly. You can do wall rides. I don't know how the fuck you do those wall rides. You grab the pole and then take your foot off the front of the board and put it back in like some kind of saran wrap shit. You're an amazing skater. Don't sell yourself down. Neither of you guys are. You guys both are fucking amazing, man. I geek out on your guys' shit all the fucking time. I can go on for days about that. Like your guys' tour videos are just like fucking insane, dude. I could geek out on both your guys' footage for days. And who's that gnarly, the shaved head, like oi punk guy that hangs with you guys at Rips? The fucking, he rocks like the high water pants, looks like Ian McKay back in like 1982. Fucking
that's Cam. That's our friend Cam.
That's our friend.
I'm gonna let Tom field this one real quick.
Oh my god! When I grow up, I want to be that guy. Like I really want to be that guy when I grow up. Like he's my hero. Like Cam is. He looks like the drawing from the Circle Jerks album covers. Like he's like literally like in spirit. Like he embodies like every person in my neighborhood that I met skating when I first started in '87. Like it put a smile on my face seeing that guy. The way he skates, the way he is, his total I don't give a fuck attitude, like pissing in his own mouth. I was like, I like this guy. Like, I think that was him pissing in his own mouth. Yeah.
Oh, that was Cam. Cam is great. He's one of our.
I always wanted to do that, but never had the balls to do that. I've always wanted to piss in my mouth, but never had the guts, dude. Always thought about it, but then I always pussied out.
I need the Goku graphic. Where's the Goku graphic?
Thank you. I was like, help me out, bro. They're all on my shit with that. I'm like, fuck me. Why, dude? Why are you calling that? Like, why? Like, why? You know, so there's like, you know, then they're like, what is this stuff? And I'm like, dude, it's awesome. And I show them videos of it and I show them the marketing. They're like, I don't care. It's like whatever's in their head. It's kind of like owning a record store. No one wanted to open up their idea of different forms of music. You know, I feel like I'm the guy where I'm like, oh, you like the Misfits? Then you'll love Sam Hain. And they're like, I hate Sam Hain. I don't like the Misfits. You're like, Jesus Christ. You're almost the same shit. What the fuck? So I feel like I'm constantly doing that in the skate shop, constantly. And you know, AWH in Chicago is really great. Those guys are really good about carrying a lot of underground brands. So we get a lot of good underground stuff from them too. And obviously Eastern as well. But, you know, like I definitely, I carry Fancy as much as I can. And I preach the gospel of Fancy Lad on the videos. I always try to keep up with what you guys are doing. And, you know, it's fucking just remarkable. I mean, I could just geek out about you guys for fucking days. Like, seriously.
Thank you, bro.
It's like insane. Like your goddamn trampoline shit with you and the fucking, you know, man ramp guy and all that stuff. And I mean, I could just go on. Colin Fist's shit. You guys in Chicago getting fucking nuts at the fucking, oh my God, with Virtual Clemente school. And just, I mean, everything, dude. I could go on.
We wouldn't be here for the legends like yourself, you know, Simon Woodstock, Todd Falcon, you know, these, you know, Laban, even, you know, these American misfits, if you will.
Unsung heroes of their times, for sure.
These fringe characters of the skate industry, you know.
I'm honored by those kind words, man. I'm forever grateful and humbled, man. Seriously. Like, it means the world to me. Seriously, man. It really does. I'm extremely humbled and honored. It just, you know, I did what I loved and I had no choice. I had to adapt and overcome, and it means a lot to me, man. You guys are carrying the torch on, and I'm just so happy that when I die, there's gonna be dudes like you out there that are keep this going. You know, keep that middle finger to the fucking, you know, to the norm and the conformity in skateboarding, and to just fucking sew your own fabric of your own fucking, you know, to your own beat of your own drummer. I'm just, you know, I really do get sick and tired of seeing the same regurgitated shit, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like music, like, or food. I look at it as taste. I'm not going to insult someone. No matter what you're doing on skateboard, it takes talent and skill, and I respect that. Just when the media only, you know, publicizes one fucking attribute of that, it's kind of saying the only music on earth is rock and roll, and being like, well, wait a second, how about fucking, I don't know, jazz? How about fucking funk? How about, you know, whatever, dub? You know, I could go on forever. What about roots reggae? Right. We could go on forever, right? So it's just one of those things where I feel that like kids are getting a very small fraction of what skateboarding is about through the lens of the mainstream media and skating. So it's great that you guys are out there carrying that torch and showing that there is the eccentric, you know, fucking awesome, you know, iconoclast of fucking skateboarders like yourselves that are going out there and just being like, no, we can do whatever the fuck we want. There's no rules to this bullshit. That's the point of it. If I wanted to do something with rules to it, I would have played basketball like my old man wanted me to. You know what I mean?
I'd still be in Little League right now.
Exactly. I'd still be in fucking Little League getting hit in the nuts because I can't fucking, you know, I don't know how far to stand from the plate and shit. Exactly. I mean, exactly. I still be in Little League. Like, I don't know. It's what drew me to this was the individuality of it, you know?
Yeah, my Little League coach would always rag on me because he said I looked too good in my outfit.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
And then he'd wink and lick his lips a little bit. Yeah, it was weird.
That's so creepy. Fuck, dude. He looked nice. Oh, I'd be scared shitless. I'd throw a fucking ball at his nuts and run. Fuck that. I'd be like, ah.
What you were saying right before that, Tom was telling us about his little league coach. You know, I was just thinking, even if, you know, say skateboarding was just one genre, say those other genres of music were like, you know, other extreme sports like rollerblading and biking and scootering and snowboarding. Even if skateboarding was rock and roll, you know, it's the thing about it is, you know, you need the reaction to the mainstream, which, you know, came as punk. So you always need an alternative to the mainstream, which Big Brother very much was at the time.
I agree. I love Big Brother.
It's kind of more of an honor to be on the Big Brother cover when you think about it.
And thank you, man. It means a lot to me. I mean, to be frank, I mean, Big Brother, I never would have had a career. I never would have paid rent. I never would have had some of the travels or experience I would have if it wasn't for Big Brother. Like, as much as Kristen Racco gave me shit, Dave Carniel's had my back. Lisa Buckingham, huge shout out to her for getting me in there. Heather Roach, huge shout out. Rick Kosick, Demiri Eliestovich. I could go on for hours.
Love Carney.
Dan Borky. Love those dudes. All those guys. Yeah, Dave Carney, of course. Big Brother did so much for me early in my career. And they really, I mean, honestly, my first pro contest was Slam City Jam, Vancouver, Canada. And I went up there with my platonic friend, which the girlfriend at the time didn't believe me. But anyway, I drove up there from Portland with this chick, which is fucking crazy. Like, now I think about when you're 18 years old, don't do this, guys. Like, literally your girlfriend is like, I can't get work off. You're going to have to go solo. And then you take this chick that you know from the other side of town with you for a 3-day trip to Canada. It's a good way to get in trouble with your girlfriend. Anyway, long story short, nothing ever happened with me and that chick. But anyway, fucking get to Canada. I'm fresh out of the fucking car, right? I go to this she wanted to swim at this public swimming pool. I wanted to go skate this park down the street. I'm skating this park, and here comes Dave Carney, Rick Kosick, just fucking over a berm of grass, just kicking it, right? And next thing I know, they're filming me, and they put me in the fucking boob video. Like, everything they filmed that day is in the boob video. Like, they literally just like, hey, what's your name? Like, holy shit, you're doing some wacky shit. Next thing I know, that, like, put me on the map. I remember, what's his name? Dave Meddy at Slap talked about some shit, has seen me, and it was like that weird spark that lit the fire that got me to a point where I could go from being, a guy that was, making $200 a month to actually having, money in the bank and a pro model and not having to stress working a construction job on the side,
Who did you have a pro model for?
Vision Skateboards. Yeah, I turned pro for Vision. Yeah. So it was me, Billy Joe Yarborough, Rich Cooley, big props to Rich Cooley. Still talk to him to this day. Pure Luke Gagnon was on at that time, which is crazy. Pure Luke Gagnon, Pure Luke Gagnon. It sounds like this. He skates verts really well, and Taz Pappas. It was a weird team. Taz Pappas, Pure Luke Gagnon, Rich Cooley, Billy Joe Yarborough, and my dumbass. And this other guy, Jamie Smith, who I don't know where he is now. If anyone can find him, he's not on social media. Tell him I love him because he was rad. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he's dead or he just went off the grid or he's like in some bunker. And he's from Tennessee. Guy was fucking amazing. He's one of those guys that like was nollie flip, no sliding down handrails, like at the same era that Dame Montoya and those guys are doing it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know who did it first. If I could argue that one, but he was definitely right there in the cusp of that nollie flip trick into shit down handrail era. Yeah. Amazing skater, unbelievably underrated. I don't know where he is now. I can't find him. I've been trying to find him social media wise for years. I hope he's alive. But so yeah, I was on Vision, and Vision was, honestly, at that time it was great. It was 10 years after Gons left, of course, so they had kind of a scarlet letter to bear with certain industry people. I remember John Humphreys wouldn't shoot photos with me because of it. He finally shot a photo with me for an ad, but then said you didn't want his name on it. There were certain people in the industry that were very apprehensive getting involved with Vision because of what Brad Dorfman did to them. And of course, when you're 18, you don't realize all these industry politics. I was too young to understand that Brad Dorfman owned like thousands of dollars to people like, obviously, Mark Gonzalez and, you name it. Anyone got burned. Hence why he started Blind, all that shit. And there's so many other dudes that like he owed money to that he fucked over. I could go on. You interviewed Russ Pope recently. I think he had a short stint working at Vision too, and he might have mentioned that as well at some point. But I could geek out about that forever. Vision really fucked over a lot of people. I was lucky though. I saw the writing on the wall before they fucked me over. When my contract was up with them, and I had a feeling they were gonna like find that next week's whatever you want to call it. Not it's an exaggeration. It sounds egotistical or vain, but like the next hot thing that was coming up or whatever. I could tell something was going down with that. I actually got in touch with Brian Tucci and fucking Jamie Oliver. Sorry. That was no relation to the TV host who owned Capital Skateboards at that point in time. So I jumped ship from Vision right before they were going to fire me, and I got on Nicotine Wheels and Capital Skateboards out of DC, which was really weird. And I took Rod Marks with me, and who the fuck else? Jaron Faustino rode for him at that time. Cooper Wilt rode for Capital for a brief minute, a little unknown fact at that time. And who the fuck else? It'll come back to me in an hour. But so it was weird. Like Vision basically had this kind of notorious thing for being like basically you get a year or two contract with them if you're lucky, a 2-year contract, and then once they're done with you, they just cut you. It was like a weird marketing. You were disposable. Basically, what you were is a disposable marketing tool to them. That's all you were to Vision. I knew that kind of going into it, so thank God I wasn't as hurt as other people that went into it and got burned. But I kind of had a good head on my shoulder. I was already just happy to not be working construction, and I just kind of was just basically trying to float and just ride out as long. I was just trying to milk it, eat as much top ramen as possible and fucking not starve on the street and live at Burnside. That was my only fucking goal at that time was how long can I do this for until I fucking need to go get a day job and become a normal functioning adult. That was really all my thinking.
What were there any other bigger companies that you skated for like Vision?
Oh God. I'm trying to think. Independent Trucks when fucking Trichet was still there. And when fucking, oh my God, is that fucked up? When he was still there before he left to do Ace, he put me on Indy for a while. And Joey Trichet, sorry, I'm like brain farting. I fuck up him and his brother all the time. But Joey, he put me on Indy, so that was sick. I would get these boxes of indies. It was like, there's no way you can go through fucking more than one set of indies a month. Like it's impossible unless I don't know, maybe there's someone that does. Not me, not this guy. But you know, I'm not skating the chunky shit in the world either. But you know, it'd be like 2 sets of indies, a hoodie, and, you know, it was all kinds of fun shit would be in that box every month. You know, you name it, bottle openers and weird shit. And that was a bigger name brand. Let's see, Mark Waters, rest in peace. He died of COVID. Great man. He put me on flow for a long time through Soltech. So I got S shoes forever. I mean, I was like S flow for life kind of guy. Like
hell yeah.
I had S's coming in all the time until I got picked up by Epic Footwear, which was short lived, and they gave me a paycheck. But then once Epic went out of business, I called Mark Waters, and he was nice enough to hook me up again. So it was kind of a weird thing where I would go between these shoe sponsors where they're like short lived, and they give me money and you know, pay my way or whatever you want to call it, and send me free shoes. And then once they went out of business, Mark Waters would just be so kind to be like, yeah, sure, I'll send you a fucking bike, you know, you know, cool, you know, and he'd send me fucking 6 pairs of shoes, and it never put me fully on where they, you know, do anything for me other than that, which I'm not complaining about. I was, you know, beggars can't be choosy. I was thankful they didn't give a flying fuck about my dumb ass at all, to be honest. I was like Forrest Gump. I just kept lucking out, you know.
Would you like the Costin one?
Oh, I like the Costin one. I skated the fuck out. There's a lot of old footage of me actually out there in the Costin one. My Elevate Trucks video part, that was like the first well-distributed video part of me in 2000 that came out. It's somewhere on YouTube somewhere. I was skating all Costin ones. Yeah, I love those. I love the XLs. Later on, the square ones were hot shit. Obviously, your native son, million years later, Patrick John Ladd colorway, the brown, I called them the chocolate Labradors. You know, those ones with the Boston, you know, sideline.
Yeah.
I mean, I wrote a lot of that stuff. You know, I mean, basically, Mark would just send me this box of 5 pairs of shoes, and they were all different. I would just skate the living fuck out of them, you know. And this is the funny thing: when I got AirSpeed Shoes, which was my best paying check ever, I still would skate S's because the AirSpeed shoes sucked so bad. I would black out all the markings on that said S, and I'd shoot ads and shit them. So if you look at those AirSpeed ads from like 2007, 8, 9, and 10, even 2011, I'm skating S's actually in all the ads.
Nice. AirSpeed, that was like a Walmart brand, right? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous. Okay. It was a Walmart brand, dude.
Who else skated for them? Was it Christian Svitek or?
Yep, Svitek got on after. I got him on there, and then I got shit canned when he was on there. Mike McGill was on there. Mike McGill's who got me on. Mike McGill got me on, and I was like pinching pennies so hard at that point in my life. Like, what the fuck was I doing for a job before that? I had some fucked up job. I guess I want to blank for my memory. It was fucked up, dude. What the hell was I doing? I was refinishing boats, dude. Like, I was refinishing boats. I was riding for Recon Skateboards. Big shout out to Geraldo Brand over there. And, you know, they're a small brand that couldn't do much, you know, for you financially, meaning, you know, I mean, they were great guys. And I'm refinishing boats. And then one day I get on MySpace just to check my shit. I shit you negative. And Matt McGill's like, hey, so I write for AirSpeed Footwear. I'm like, yeah, I know. I see your, you know, ads everywhere on your billboards around San Diego. He's like, well, they're looking for a street guy. And I couldn't think of a better guy, the better attitude than you. Would you be willing to come meet with us? And I was like, yes, absolutely. I've been standing boats in this dock with this fucking awesome guy, Lenny. He was rad. That's another story in itself. You'll be there all day. But sawing barnacles off of boats versus this, I was like, fuck yeah. And I went in there. It was kind of like, okay, like this, you guys can relate to this in your Boston, but like, do you remember the scene where, and fucking, what was it? The fucking, oh my God, the first Ben Affleck movie where, oh my God, how about them apples? What the fuck is that?
Good
my
Will
God,
Hunting?
dude. Yeah, it's Good Will Hunting. Where like fucking, they send fucking, what's his fuck into the meeting with the like the arms defense guys. He's just like kind of bullshitting that he's him, but he's not. He's like, he's kind of acting like his agent. Fucking Ben Affleck's character is like, goes in there and just kind of like presses him for money. It was kind of like that. Like, I knew these guys were a faceless company. They're, you know, literally a subsidiary of Walmart, which I have no qualms about. Like, if it's a friend's company, I'm going to be friendly and kind of and doty. But these guys, I just knew it was going to be fucking weird. So I literally walked in that office, like imaging myself as Ben Affleck in the boiler room type shit. Just like, fuck it. Like, you know, I'm sick of saying both. If it works, it doesn't. And I go on there, and this guy, I'll never forget his name, Jason McMaster. That was literally his name, the team manager of AirSpeed Footwear, Jason McMaster. And Bill Mann was his boss. And it literally sounds like some of a movie. Like, their names don't even fucking sound real. And anyway, I get in the office, and, you know, we're bullshitting, we're talking, we're jiving, we're riffing. And Mike McGill and them are, you know, are kind of like, what would you want? Like, what would you want from him? Mike McGill just rides for him. Doesn't really have to say anything. He's just, you know, he's just the guy that broke the ice. I'm like, what do you want from us exactly? I'm like 2 pairs of shoes and $1,500 a month. Because that was what my bills were at that time in my life, were like, you know, 13 something. I thought, you know, I'm just going to fucking aim high and they're going to talk me down. They didn't talk me down at all. They're like, okay. I was like, holy fuck.
Damn, you should have said twice that. Yeah.
Literally, I felt like Ben Affleck. Like, fuck, I should have asked for more. It was like that. It was a total Ben Affleck fucking Good Will Hunting moment. I was like, God damn it. Like, you have to go back to fucking Matt Damon and be like, sorry, dude, I could have got you more, but, I biffed it. And so next thing I know, I'm riding for Airspeed and, I'm done sanding boats. And 3 years of my life, I was making that till I got my shoe out in Walmart, which made more money. But then I got shit canned because I opened my big fucking stupid mouth. As you guys have noticed, I'm pretty good at doing that. So this is weird. I'm making I'm making 1,500 plus royalties, for my damn shoes in Walmarts all around everywhere. And it's probably my karma because those shoes are probably made by some fucked up sweatshop where it's probably some 10-year-olds tied to a loom getting electrocuted every day by cattle prods. So honestly, it's probably my fucking karma for riding for such a shitty company in the first place. But anyway, what was his name? Fuck, oh my God. Jesse fucking, oh my God, who's doing Excel the Wheels? It's going to kill me. I can see his fucking face right now. Jesse Fritsch. Jesse Fritsch hits me up from, at the time, it was called ShredderDie.com, but later became the Ride Channel.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, do you want to do a free lunch with us? And free lunch was like a series they did then where it was like, they'd take you to lunch and they'd interview you, right, over lunch.
Yeah, I remember those.
Okay, yeah. And so he's like, hey, you want to do a free lunch with us? I'm like, dude, like, I'm fucking down, dude. Like, let's do it, And basically, like, what happened between the time he said, let's do the interview, and we actually conducted the interview because he had tons of lined up. It was like one of those things, like, he's got big name people like Krishna Soy and shit lined up. Like, I'm not getting in the front of that line with good reason. I don't blame him because, those are legends. I'm just this dork that does pressure whoops, right? I'm just a fucking idiot. And so, like, months and months goes by, right? And during those months, Airspeed decides to say, hey, man, like, we got to cut your check down to $500 a month. Like, we can't afford to keep you anymore, blah, blah, blah. Like, times are rough. 2008, crash was really hard on us, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is like 2011, 2008 was fucking just now hitting us, whatever. Anyway, long story short, I'm working at my friend's taco shop. My friend Greg Lukushevitz, shout out Greg Lukushevitz, and fucking his brother Armando. Anyway, long story short, I'm working at a taco shop, right? And I'm making $500 a month from skateboarding now at this point, and I'm literally working at a taco shop to pay the rest of my bills. Anyway, Jesse Fritsch is like, where do you want to go for lunch? I'm like, let's do it at the taco shop I work at because I'm going to plug them as much as I can because, they're keeping me from starving in the street and being a hobo and drinking Sterno, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so fucking we meet up there and Jesse Fritsch asked the questions like, why are you working here? Like, what's going on? You have a shoe in Walmart. And I'm horrible. Like, you've seen the movie Liar, Liar with Jim Carrey? Like, I'm like that. I can't lie at all. I can't fucking filter anything. It's horrible. It's a sin. It's a fucking curse, not a blessing because, like, I was just told the truth. I was like, Airspeed cut my check into $500 and Jason McMaster went and bought a brand new Mercedes Benz with the money with me. I said that on camera, like literally. Of course, they ran it. Literally, the day after it got ran, I get this fucking phone call from Jason McMaster. Well, we're going to have to let you go. Your contract is now voided because of this and this and defamation. Like, then they start threatening to sue me and shit. And I was just like, holy fuck. Anyway, big argument on the phone, threw the phone on the ground, broke the fucking phone. Like this is, again, it was like a flip phone. This is, I didn't have an iPhone. I think they're around then, but I didn't own one. Anyway, pissed off, fucking gnarly falling out, blah, blah, blah. All these shoes are still out there in Walmart. I don't get a penny for them. Whatever. I'm thinking about small claims shit. I started talking to different attorneys. They're like, fuck you. You can't do anything about it. Like if it says, if you have this clause, you're fucked, dude. So anyway, I'm fucking back to fucking working at the taco shop. And I could go into this long life story thing. You'll be here all fucking day, but what happened next was even more fucking crazy and more traverse and more obtuse. I'm in the taco shop. I'm fucking cutting up carne asada. I'm just slicing it, just fucking butchering shit, right?
Steak,
this dude Drew,
in case you're wondering.
Just cutting steak all day. Drinking Modelo's on the job, getting drunk all day, day drinking, like destroying my liver, just being a piece of shit. Like, just, you know what I mean? Like fucking just, it was pretty much like just fucked, right? Like full Alex Trainer Gall status, just fucked up shit, right? And like, anyway, fucking, I'm standing there cooking and shit, and like this dude Drew Dorn I know comes through the front door and like he's ordering at the counter. He sees me in the back. He's like, "What you doing here?" He's like, "This is like total devil's advocate, like Crossroads Robert Johnson shit." He's like, "My father-in-law owns a car lot. Would you like to work with me on a car lot?" And I've heard all the rumors and movies. Like we've all seen the used car salesman movies, right? Like fucking Kirk Douglas and shit movies, and you know what I mean? Like fucking, weird ass movies with how they're shady and shit. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I want to work there. Like taco shop sucks. Like, yeah, absolutely, I'll work in a car lot. Don't ever do it. I don't wish it upon my worst enemies, dude. Seriously, don't ever work at a car lot. It's the most horrific job you'll ever have in your life. It's literally like everyone's fighting over customers. You don't get one penny unless you literally sell something. People are harsh and demeaning and condescending and fucked up. And like, I never met more like homophobic phobic, more sexist, more racist, more fucked up people than I did in car lots. Like literally, dude, like those are the most fucked up places in the world. I'll never ever work in a car lot again. If you ever have a choice between killing yourself or a car lot, please just shoot yourself in the head. Like it's just don't do it. Worst job in the world, which led me to basically my wife supported me off tips at the bar she worked at. And well, not then my wife, my girlfriend, whatever, you know, we are married now. And I came back to her hometown of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, when I visited, and I realized everything was dirt cheap here. Like there was nothing going on. There wasn't a skate shop within 30 miles, so I don't have to compete against any other skate shop. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going to take out a small business loan. I'm going to write a business plan. I'm going to open a skate shop. And that's kind of how I ended up in Iowa, to be honest. Like literally fucking, that was 10 years ago this June that we opened up. So I've been here in the tundra for that long, and that's kind of the skinny on the AirSpeed thing, if you're wondering, I guess, for lack of a better term.
And you've just been running the skate shop ever since?
Yeah, literally. I have no employees. It's just me and my wife. We're literally a mom and pop operation. Like she's there right now, actually doing inventory. We literally for the past 10 years it's just us behind the counter. You know, it's so weird. I did not think it would last 10 years. It was more like a hopscotch. Maybe I was going to do it and then part-time go back to school or something, but it ended up just being this thing where, you know, it worked. I never wanted to compete against any skate shops that I respected. So I couldn't move anywhere on the West Coast. I mean, all the way from the Canadian border to the Mexican border, there were skate shops every 2 feet. And I didn't want to compete against any of my friends that had skate shops because that's just rude and horrible. And I didn't want to move to like some random place I didn't have any connection to and open a skate shop and then get killed by the locals for not being a native. And so it just worked. My wife's hometown of Cedar Rapids, where she was originally from, just worked out perfectly. There wasn't a skate shop, like I said, within 30 miles at the time. And, you know, we opened up and I soon learned the culture of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I mean, Eric Fletcher's from here. Uli Marin's from here. Adam Miller's from here. He just moved to Des Moines recently. And I think he's going to be on Street Plant with Mike Vallely soon, to be honest. Probably by the time this airs, he'll probably be on there. I could go on, but like,
does Mike V ever stop into your skate shop?
You know, we sell a lot of his boards, and he wanted to do a poetry reading, but I was getting hip surgery literally the same week he wanted to do that. And I said, dude, sorry, I'm getting hip surgery, bro. He has not swung by. Actually, no, I take that back. Holy fuck, I'm an asshole. He swung by like 9 years ago when he was on tour with Black Flag. I'm a total dick. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I forgot that. It's all over our social media. Someone was going to call me out on that one. Thank God. But yeah, him and Black Flag swung by. That was pretty fucking cool. That was a neat surprise, to be honest. Like, yeah, him and Greg Ginn and Dez and all those fuckers. It was insane. Like all these punk rock legends in my dumbass skate shop, hanging out, shooting pool, shooting the breeze. We had some great photos and hung out. They were on their way to Iowa City to play a show, and that was before he moved here. I would like to think that might have been the tour where he fell in love with Iowa and decided to move here, but I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm speculating, but we've talked a lot since he moved here. I sell a lot of his fucking boards, like a shit ton of them. So we talk on the phone a lot when I do orders or through, you know, email. Also, like when I go to Des Moines, I see him. I saw him at the Dew Tour Olympic, you know, qualifier, and we bullshitted and rubbed elbows and, you know, all that. Great guy. Love him. Love and wife. Both their kids are great. Just a good salt of the earth man. You know, he's always been just cool and humble to me. But yeah, he's about 2 hours away from me. I mean, Des Moines, if you drive like a maniac, you can be there in an hour and 20 minutes. Like there's this fucking dude in town, Mitchell Durr, that gets there in like an hour because he's fucking nuts. But he drives like a Camaro and he's like super, like, he's like the Dead Biltman song, Bitchin' Camaro. But like, if you drive like a sane person like me that wants to live to see tomorrow, it's about 2 hours of traffic between here and Des Moines where Mike B lives.
Yeah.
You know, we're the second biggest in Iowa. We're kind of like the Olympia, Washington, or let me think. What's the second biggest city in New England? I don't know. Providence, Rhode Island, or something. I don't know. I'm speculating here. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I threw that out there as a spitball. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I have no idea. You know,
could be Portland, Maine, Providence, Rhode Island.
Oh yeah, fuck Portland, Maine. Yeah. I'm a dick. One of my favorite rappers was from Portland, Maine. Alias, man, he was sick. He was in Anticon Records.
Do you still freestyle on the regular?
Not really. I'm horrible at it. That's rad that you saw that Willie Santos thing, though. I'm happy about that. I haven't freestyle rapped in years. I'm horrible. I shouldn't be allowed to rap at all. I have the shittiest voice in the world. I am a big fan of hip hop. I'm a big fan of you know, conscious rap. Unfortunately, I should not be allowed to rap ever. Like Chris Haslam actually made the best joke when I was roommates with him. Me, him, Sue Tran, and Cooper Will all lived together for a while, which was the most interesting, rambunctious crew of motherfuckers you could ever imagine together in one building. We were in Sue's condo, and I used to freestyle rap when I'd clean the house. And he came home one time. It was actually when he was filming round 3, and he caught me fucking, you know, rapping as I was cleaning the toilet bowl. like he filmed some of it and threatened that he was going to put it in like, like in his video part as the voiceover. But obviously, as we all know, he used that Gran Turismo song instead. Fucking, but it was
the Cardigans,
just so funny. Yep. And I was playing Gran Turismo a lot at that time, and he actually said, I heard that in the background a lot. That's why we used that. It was kind of funny. We were roommates when he was editing that part and filming a lot of it, which was funny.
That part, epic. Yeah,
it was a good part. It was awesome, man. It was a great time to live with him, man. Me and him, he was straight edge, so he was great. He was like our sober driver. Like I would get trashed and CU would get trashed, and he would like drive us back from the bars, and just he would hang out with us and shit and meet chicks and dance and all that stuff and all that jazz. But he wouldn't drink one sip of alcohol. He was always drinking ginger ale and stuff. It was so rad. Yeah. Like his liver is gonna thank him for that. Like we were idiots. We were total young, dumb, stupid idiots, just drinking way too much alcohol than we should have and getting all kinds of shit. I mean, I could write a book 500 pages thick about CU's fucking, condo and all the weird shit I saw over there. I mean, I could go on forever about that fucking place. It was insane for sure. Fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want me to elaborate, I can. I just don't want to fucking be that guy where I hold you up all night. I mean, there was one time CU was so drunk, he like threw a knife into the wall. It was only like 2 inches above my head, not realizing I was sitting like right below it. I mean, I could go on, man. Fucking crazy shit. These crazy neighbor chicks that were around that were like, everyone became an Eskimo brother with them. It was fucking crazy shit. Like there was always chaos going on, dude. Fucking Shallow Grace almost burnt the building down because he fell asleep when he was cooking on the stove. Like just we played Sponsor Me Baseball. So like at the time there was like, obviously Sue, being the guy that shot votes for all the Dwindle ads, there was a lot of Sponsor Me tapes being given to Dwindle and stuff. And so he would take them home and watch them and show them to all the roommates. And some of them were pretty decent. One of them actually happened to be Ryan DeCenzo's Sponsor Me tape, which was pretty cool. And they obviously know how that turned out. It turned out great. That one didn't get baseballed. But Sue thought it'd be really funny if the ones that were really shitty, like the ones that was just like someone holding up a curb and you know what I mean? Like those real bottom rate Sponsor Me tapes was he got a baseball bat and we'd pitch to him, he would smash it with the baseball bat and there'd just leave shards all around the apartment, dude. So it was just shards of tape and tape spun out everywhere. Like just given on whatever time of day you came to that apartment, you'd see just tape everywhere and shards of plastic. There's footage of me somewhere on YouTube where we're smashing them on our foreheads too. And it was just insane. Again, bad karma, we were just smashing dreams. It was fucked up. Now I think about it, looking back, it was really fucking wrong of us, but just really crazy shit.
Did you ever talk to Chris and Cooper and be like, yo, do you think you can get me on Almost?
No, I didn't, I really, really, really didn't want to fuck with their shit. I was on this really obtuse board company at the time. It was really strange. The name of the company was Ironic Skateboards. They were short-lived. And they were taking good care of me at the time. And I never wanted to bug them. And they were really kind people that ran it. This guy, Josifer Stevens ran it. Good guy. I could geek out about that. But most of his money, this is really strange. He didn't skate, but he had a brother that skated. And he basically funded the whole company, which I later found out through how do I say this without fucking sound like a fucking narcotics pusher? But he was like, he fucking was a steroid pusher, dude. Like this guy, like he said he had a company that On Leash Clothing was another one of his subsidiaries. Basically what it was is he was selling clothing for working out in the gym and also like creatine shakes and like, like additives for working out and stuff like that. Additives. Anyway, he got busted years later. And of course the check started flowing to me and the board company was gone because the guy got busted for selling steroids. I was trying to find a nice way to put it. He was a nice guy, but I didn't even think about getting on Almost at that time because I was so well taken care of that I didn't want to ruin a good thing, and I also didn't want to bug them. I felt, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't feel like I was in the same league as those guys. I felt like I was batting in AA or AAA and those guys were major league, you know what I mean? And I already knew where my place was in the universe. And I guess I just, I never asked, they never offered. So I just kind of lived with them for that whole summer. And we all probably got herpes from the neighbor chicks and, fucking we played baseball with people Sponsor Me tapes and fucking Sue fucking threw knives in the wall and shit almost got burnt down. And,
at least you have the memories, Yeah,
I got the memories of that fucked up place we lived in. It was fucking nuts, dude. It was insane, dude. It was literally the most crazy. Yeah, I mean, just crazy shit. Like these neighbor chicks were fucking out of their minds, dude. Like I don't know why they would even come over. Like honestly, like we were all dirtbags, swellbowed out, bloody, disgusting. Actually, you know what? Haslam did not touch any of them. He does not have herpes. Haslam, I think, is the only guy in that house that didn't fuck any of them because again, he's a smart person. He's not an idiot like us.
He's the one drinking ginger ale.
You know, like he was just drinking ginger. Like he wasn't drunk. He didn't come home with the weird neighbor chicks. You know what I mean? He didn't end up fucking like, I'm just a ghost now. I probably died of AIDS years ago. You're probably just talking to the ghost of Nate Sherwood right now. I mean, these are some scraggly, sketchy chicks, dude. Like the one I was like, whatever you want to call it, with fucking, use a polite word. Her dad was like a long haul trucker. She would always talk about she missed her dad, the long haul trucker and shit. She would only listen to like really weird country western music and stuff. It was fucking creepy, dude. It was like a David Lynch film. It was like something out of like the fucking movie Blue Velvet. Like she was like, I don't know. She was creepy and like
she
might.
Do you ever think that maybe the neighbor girls were ghosts?
You know, honestly, maybe I fucked a ghost. You know, oh my god, maybe they were. That makes me feel a lot better about that. That explains why I'm still alive.
You're kind of like you're like
Yeah.
the Dan Aykroyd of the skate industry.
Oh my god, I am. I could be Dan Aykroyd. Oh my god, you're right. Ghostbusters shit. It could have been like Sigourney Weaver. She did kind of look like Sigourney Weaver. She was tall. Fucking hell. God damn it, dude. I think you're right. I think fucking I fucked a ghost, dude. Holy shit, man.
Hell yeah,
this
Nate.
is mind blowing.
Hell
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Another
Holy shit,
epiphany on the
I had
Fancy
an
Lad
epiphany,
podcast.
dude. Holy
Oh my
shit.
God.
Dropping in switch stands paddles on a ghost. Oh my god.
Now,
You made me feel a lot better about
that's
that.
for all those fans wondering where that ectoplasm comes from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Why is it green? I don't know. Don't ask me, man. My seed is green.
Yeah, that's clearly the ghost herpes.
Yep, that's exactly the Gerst terms. Ectoplasm. Yeah. Exactly, dude. Exactly. A whole different term for that box that fucking traps ghosts. You know what I mean? Holy shit, man. Fucking hell, dude. Yeah, that you guys are great, man. I need to fly out there. I'm going to Logan Airport right now. Let's make this happen.
Get out here.
Dude,
I need to get the fuck out there.
The airport code's BOS. So that's an easy way
for
to
Boston.
look it up.
For Boston. Oh, BOS. I thought it was Logan.
BOS. Well, no, it is Logan is the airport. But
I'm saying the code when you search
the airport
flight.
code is
Fuck
BOS. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Czarface. Esoteric from Czarface. His dog's name is Logan after the airport. Yeah. That's how I know.
I know. Yeah, you should come out sometime. We'll skate with Vay. Vay always talked about it. I remember. I actually still think I have this like VHS tape. God knows if I'm gonna find it because it's like a needle in a haystack. But it's like a VHS tape that you made for Vay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are the days I miss making those videos.
I still think I have that copy of that video.
Dude, that is so right. You still have that, man.
And you're making like prank phone calls on it.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Me and Jeremy Klein were pranking motherfuckers left and right.
Yeah.
I remember that. We were pranking chicks and pranking industry people, and like we were pranking Per Wellender, and we pranked a bunch of motherfuckers on there. I remember this now.
I think you have an opportunity to get a real cult following on like YouTube or something. If you just become this sort of like Joker character where you're just speaking the truth, you know, and you're just unveiling the curtain of the Wizard of Oz, you know. I think you should go for it, you know.
I'm fucking honored, man. I'm honored. You know, hey man, I got about 9 months of healing from this hip surgery to do. So you know what? Maybe I'll digitize all that old stuff and try to put it on the interweb somehow.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear. I'm sorry about all your health issues there. I know that you're telling me about them. What was the hip? What was the hip thing?
So the hip thing is actually interesting. I'm big shout out to Dr. Westerman. Big shout out to Dr. Garrett. Big shout out to Dr. Shannon. These fuckers put me back together again like Humpty Dumpty, dude. So this is a crazy thing. They're two of those people are the physical therapists, by the way. Dr. Westerman is the guy that actually shaved my bones down, and Dr. Courtney too. Is like a whole team to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. But basically, what happened is I had a thing called a cam lesion, which is kind of it's somewhat common but rare, obviously for someone my age. And what it's a big growth on your femoral head of your femur, like a tumor, but not cancerous and not benign, like and soft. It's a hard like bone. Like a bone spur, for lack of a better term, like a calcium deposit, right? Mm-hmm. And every time I lift my leg up deep into deep flexion, as they call it, like every time my femoral head touched my acetabular, it would hurt, and I didn't know why. And I just kept skating with it, thinking I was getting old with those muscles. What I ended up doing is I started tearing cartilage, the labrum, is toward the cartilage through the soft tissue into my pelvis. So it was like bone on bone action, like gnarly getting beat up. And eventually I went to the doctor, and they're like, "Oh, do physical therapy," and just dumbass urgency care clinic doctors. And so I kept doing physical therapy. Nothing happened. Finally, the physical therapist, Paul, he was the shit, was like, "Dude, I think you might have this thing called a cam lesion, but you need to go see, the other doctors like that know their shit, because I just deal with physical therapy." He fucking saw my face cringing. This is back in like 2000, before COVID, like 2018, 2019. Anyway, I go see Dr. Westerman. They take an MRI. He's like, yeah, you got this giant cam lesion. I'm like, this is gnarly. Like, you're fucking fucked, bro. Like, he says it in more professional terms, but that'd been Rafi said it like that. And he's like, we can do surgery on this and we can get you rolling, but it's going to take like 9 to 12 months for you to heal. And I was like, oh, fuck that, dude. That sounds gnarly. Let me think about it. So as I was thinking about it, as I was pondering this for like 6 months, guess what happened? COVID. So there's no surgeries going on, right? So COVID happens. And then a year later, my good friend Kurt Hayashi dies. And so I fly to his funeral in Portland, Oregon. The only time I can get off from work is January and February because I work pretty much every fucking day, except sometimes me and Lindsay rotate. We take Sundays and Mondays off, etc. But because January and February are so dead, I can afford to take months off to heal. It takes about 8 weeks just to get out of being bedridden. That's why I'm bedridden right now. Anyway, long story short, fucking that year is fucked because the Kurt, rest in peace to Kurt. I didn't want to deal with surgery and the death of a good friend. Anyway, fucking this year, all the stars aligned. Third time's a charm. I go get the surgery. Like I said, huge props to Dr. Westerman. Shaved the bone down. He's my man, the bone shaver. Shaves down the bone. Puts all the cartilage back together. Staples all this shit together. Puts anchors into my pelvis. You can watch the whole surgery on YouTube. Not of me, but if you just look up FAI labrum impingement on YouTube, you can see tons of videos of this. You have to sign in and say you're 18 or over, but you can see the graphicness of this surgery. Anyway, I get the surgery done and I start going to physical therapy. I go see Dr. Shannon at Kepros, big shout to them, and Dr. Garrett, who's like in this awesome band called Still Pictured. He's like this amazing guitar player. Like he looks like Slash. Like literally Slash is my fucking physical therapist. The coolest shit ever. And like from like Guns N' Roses, right? Like he's fucking awesome.
So he had a top hat and sunglasses.
Yeah, and he's just
black
fucking
curly hair
on my hip. It's so rad. It's like
and he
got
was
a top hat and sunglasses.
And he had he had a Les Paul strapped around his shoulder.
No, all your physical therapy sessions just start with him lifting up your leg and resting it on his knee like a guitar, and he's like, "All right, tell me if this hurts."
Exactly, dude. That's literally Garrett. He's like, it's so easy. Everybody's trying to please. Exactly. He's just jamming, dude. He's just like.
He was also singing the part of Axl Rose while he was using your guitar as a leg as a guitar.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Totally. Wow. He's just playing November's Rain and shit.
One of Tom's favorite gingers, Axl Rose.
I do fucking love Axl Rose, dude. So Dr. Garrett is like the fucking coolest physical therapist ever because he like grew up playing guitar and we could talk about punk bands together and shit. He knows the shit about punk rock. And then Dr. Shannon, she's rad. She's like from the suburbs of Chicago. She likes to bomb hills and skate in her off time. And she like wakeboards and shit. So she's super cool. And they're at Kepros Physical Therapy. Shout out to them. They've been putting me back together again, doing all these cool stretches and like Mr. Miyagi stuff on me. And basically, other than them working me out, I pretty much just sit around the house, doctor's orders until I can go back to work in the middle of March. But yeah, he's rad. He's like pretty much playing like the guitar riffs. Like he moves my leg around. He's like, he's straight up freaking, Slash. It's the fucking dopest shit ever, dude. It's like, it's great. But if this injury happened to me 30 years ago, 20 years ago even, they would just recommend a hip replacement, which is like where they, cut off your femoral head and they put a big cobalt steel bullshit thing in there, a metal thing in there. And then I'd never be able to skate again because they have to graft all that crap in there. If you fall, you can break your femur and cause all kinds of, problems and, all kinds of shit. So yeah, I'm really thankful that this surgery existed so I could keep skating. I could have took the lame way out and got a hip replacement, but there's no way. I can't imagine life without skateboarding. Like I can't. Like it doesn't even seem. You know what I mean? Like I've been doing it since I was 7 years old. I'm 43 now. Like it's like skateboarding to me is like drinking water. Like I cannot imagine like life without it. It doesn't even seem plausible. Like it's like when Dylan said like when fucking, oh my God, I'm so fucked right now. Sorry. When Hunter S. Thompson's fingers started coming down with fucking, arthritis and he started developing early stage of Parkinson's, he fucking blew his brains out and everyone thought it was sad, but it's kind of like he couldn't write anymore. Why there's a certain poetic kind of nature to like, look, right, man, if you can't fucking skate, like if I was a horse, they would put me down. Why don't they put me down as a human? Right. Like, you know what I mean? I can't run the track anymore. I want to run with my friend. I want to be Seabiscuit. You know what I mean?
Well, you're lucky you got that surgery now where you can get Slash as your physical therapist, because if you waited a few more years, you'd be stuck with Buckethead.
That's true.
I know. I'd be stuck with Buckethead. That would suck, dude. Buckethead.
Yeah, it would fucking suck. You'd be like, right? So what should I do? And he would just look at you all confused with those beady eyes through that cardboard helmet of his.
And don't get me started on the KFC bucket on top of his head.
Well, right. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Right. I mean, I would get Buckethead there, and he'd be bored. He'd smell like fucking grease and deep fryer shit all day.
You're like, are you sure it's not the bucket on your head?
Suck. Yeah, it would be lame like opposing their wallet chain. It would be fucking whack, dude. But right now I got Appetite for Destruction, badass Axl Rose working on my hip. You know, Garrett's the shit, dude. Check out Still Pictured. They're fucking awesome. His band is insane. Like, yeah, you can check them on iTunes, everybody. Like, it's like, I didn't, like, when we started throwing down, he's like, what do you do for hobbies or whatever? I'm like, I ride a skateboard. He's like, oh, cool. I had a lot of friends who skated, like, I played in bands with me. I was like, oh, what do you do? He's like, I play guitar. And then I looked up his band when I got home. I was like, this guy's fucking rad as shit, dude. This Garrett dude's my fucking new hero. Like, fucking, I just, it's like when you go to physical therapist 20, 25 years ago, like when I was having, you know, ankle problems, knee problems, you know, you name it. They were dickheads to you for a skater. They were assholes. They were like,
they're like, well, you'll never be skateboarding again. And it's like, you hurt your ankle. They're like, were you wearing a helmet? It's like, bitch, I don't wear a helmet on my ankle. That's not going to help.
It's not going to fucking help. Exactly.
Yeah.
You nailed it. You fucking nailed it with a penny head, bro. That's exactly what it was like.
Well, I mean, that's now you have the sports therapists, you know, where they understand, like, where like my most recent injury, which was an ankle injury, it's like go to see a sports therapist where they're like, all right, you're already at the normal range of motion, but we understand that is not normal for you, so we're going to continue to work until we get there. You know, they're not like, oh, you can walk kind of normal, like that's the bare minimum. They're like, no, this isn't. You're not at where you're supposed to be. So let's. And that's what I love
about Dr. Garrett and Dr. Shannon, dude, because they're like that. They're like, we get it. Like, we look your videos up on YouTube. Like, we're going to work on this for a long time to get you back to where you were. And I was like, exactly. Like, because you're right. Like, I can walk right now. You can have hip surgery. I mean, I look like some, you know, like, I don't know, some drunk while I walk, but, you know, I can walk, but I need to be able to, like, you know, like you said with your ankle, same exact thing. You could have said it more, you know, perfectly.
Normal range of motion is not going to cut it for skateboarding. It's not going to cut it.
Yeah. No, hell no. It's not going to cut it at all. You know, like, I wish I would have known Dr. Shannon a million years ago, because like, she's awesome. Like, literally, like, I wish she was around. Like, I wish she was around when I was a kid and I destroyed my ankle, and she could have got my range of motion awesome. I never would have found pressure. So who knows? That could have been a bad. That could have been. I don't know. That's a weird one. That could have been a blessing.
But who knows? Maybe if you didn't start doing pressure flips, you could have been the next Andy Reynolds. You know, you could have been.
I met him when I was a kid at the skate camp, and he was riding for GNS, like pre-Birdhouse. Yeah, Andy Reynolds. Yeah, we're roughly the same age. He's like a year older than me, but I met him at the Dallas skate camp when I was a little kid. That's kind of funny you said that. You're really good at carbon dating. We're like the same age, man. Me and Andrew. Like, yeah, he actually was staying at Matt Beach's place, I remember, and like for a while too. And they both rode for GNS before Birdhouse. And then when they got a Birdhouse, they hung out a lot together, and I'd see him here and there. He was just super quiet, introverted then. And then, you know, of course, years later he blew up. But it's funny you said that. Who knows what would have happened? It's weird, right? Time is strange. I mean, life is strange. You know, like. Like I said, I'm thankful for those sports physical therapists, like what you had with your ankle. Like with your ankle, did you have to ever get surgery on it or anything, man? Or is it just
no surgery, luckily, but you know,
cool,
man. Just
awesome.
Lots of physical therapy.
Yeah. But, that's what I'm doing, physical therapy right now myself, man. I'm loving it, man. I go in there, I ride the bike, I feel a Tour de France. I work out in the house before and after it. I take it serious like a prescription, man, you know, and I'm down there just trying to make sure that I can do everything correctly, but not overdo it, so I don't, you know, hurt anything and I have to go back in for surgery ever. You know, it's just, and I'm trying to just, you know, take everything that, you know, Garrett and Shannon say as doctrine and not overdo it or underdo it, you know, and just like you with your ankle, it's weird. I mean, like, even like my vestibular system's all off. When I was 15 years old, I got checked playing floor hockey in high school, and this is the craziest fucking shit ever. Like, not a lot of people know this about me, but I'm deaf completely in my right ear. When I was 15 years old, you know, we played floor hockey for PE class, right? It was like a thing that we had to do, part of the curriculum. Like, you know, PE class or volleyball. It's like, whatever, floor hockey. Anyway, I got checked into a wall from this kid, Sean, who got checked by our school teacher who was playing with us. And there was this guy, Bill, which is hilarious. His name was Bill Gates. I shit you negative. That was really what his name was. Like, no relation to Bill Gates, the zillionaire. And checked me in the wall, and I woke up in ICU two days later after being in a barbiturate coma for 2 days. It fractured my mastoid process and my temple bone. I've been deaf in my right ear ever since. Long story short, I couldn't skate for like 3 months because I was so dizzy. I felt like a dog.
Oh, yeah.
I was taking all these
your equilibrium's just off. Yeah.
Yep. Equilibrium was just fucked. And I'm still, you know, my equilibrium's never been the same. But like you said, it was so bad that I couldn't skate at all. It's amazing what your body will correct, though. It's amazing as a skateboarder what you'll, like, the pain you'll endure to, like, overcome things like that. Like, you with your ankle, me with my head. You know, I'm sure, you know, you was something as well, you know, like everyone's fucking had those things. And you know, it's crazy. Like, it was a horrible situation to go through. I don't wish it upon anybody, but it was amazing how I relearned to skate. And I just wish I would have had those physical therapists back then that could have maybe helped me with motor function skills and like help me out instead of just sitting around the house puking and taking pills and going to school and, you know, not skating and missing all my friends. You know, it is just kind of amazing when I think about that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm sure Nick has been through some injuries. We've all been through them, but it's skateboarding. I find it like funny because so many people you see like football, basketball and stuff, they're like, I quit after I got injured, right? Like, you hear it all the time. Like, in my skate shop, I get all these dads like, oh, I can't skate in high school. I got hurt playing this and I never did anything again. And you're like, dude, really? Like, how can you live? Like, again, like I will skate. I have skate with I skate with no legs, dude. I'll go full like Brazil status.
You hear that from a lot of people that used to skate as well. It's like, oh yeah, I used to skate, and then, you know, I did this when I was 15, and then I was like, oh, I'm not going to do that again. It's like, well, you're only 15, dude. You have plenty of time to get seriously injured.
Plenty.
You know?
I get all these dads my age in the shop all the fucking time. Like, I used to skate. You guys got Pal Peralta, Steve Saez board. You're like, no, dude. Those have been around for like 30 years, dude. The Dreamcatcher, what the fuck? Well, I really wanted a Steve Saez board really badly. Well, you know, my son needs to skate the same board I skated. Oh, well, do you still skate? No, I quit. I fell on my Steve Saez board. Like, what the fuck? I fell once. I had a lady, I shoot you native, call me one time. I was trying to laugh. She's like, can I return my board? I'm like, oh, what's wrong? She's like, I fell. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, are you fucking shitting me right now, dude?
Yeah.
Like, that's literally 99.9% of skateboarding is falling. Like, all it is a gamble with gravity. That's really what it is. We have educated guesses on how to fucking roll away, but we still eat shit all the time. And
well, that's the thing. Is like, I tell people, you have to get you like the thing you get best at is eating shit. You know what I mean?
Literally.
That's the thing. That's what you get the most practice with is failure or eating shit, you know, and you have to be able to fucking live with that.
You do. Precisely. And if you do not enjoy the slam, if you don't find some kind of comfort, some kind of masochistic beauty in that, then you're not going to ever get good at skateboarding. Like, I remember being in high school and being like, you know, typical fucking depressed like a clutch teenager. And I remember, you know, anytime you get dumped by a chick or something bad would happen in your love life, you go skate like a motherfucker. And I remember actually enjoying like slamming on brick. Like, there was this spot in Portland, Waterfront Park, we skated all the time. And it had this big 3-block we would ollie and shit. It was kind of like our version of Wallenberg or some shit like that. It was brick and not asphalt. And when I'd slam on the brick, it would like massage my back. You know, it was like, yeah, I kind of dug it. I was like, yeah, the shit is better than a woman. I don't need a woman to rub my back. I can fucking.
Oh my God, I felt something. Yeah.
Because it was like the best exfoliant in the world. You know what I mean? It was like, there was like a joy there. Like, not getting hurt wasn't joyful, but sometimes that first slam in the morning would wake you up and you'd pull your trick, right? It would get you hyped. You'd be like, fuck yeah. You know, like it would like put blood in your body. It would get things moving right. And then you'd be ready to do shit. You know what I mean? There was like a certain je ne sais quoi to like the fucking slam that I can't even put into words. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, well, there's a difference between, you know, we're not talking about like eating complete shit, but nice, a nice healthy slam. Like, yeah, that's going to fucking wake you up. That's going to get you going. And that's not a bad thing, you know? That's like a nice slap in the face in the morning, you know?
Totally.
That's
exactly.
It's thing, just gets the juices flowing.
It's like the morning cup of chicory coffee, you know what I mean? Just boom, just fucking, you know, chicory coffee to the face, just slam your face, fucking, you know, it just gets you going. Like you said, man, there's a certain beauty to that I don't think anyone outside skateboarding could ever understand. I mean, when Ted Newsom said you don't skate, you can't relate, you know, it's so fucking true. I try to use all these analogies all day in the shop to explain to the people that are buying the skateboards for the people they love that actually want to skateboard. All day I have to use these fucked up analogies. They're like, so what's the difference between a hard wheel and a soft wheel? I'm like, well, a soft wheel is like a mattress. A hard wheel is like the floor. Some people like to sleep on the floor. Some people just sleep on a mattress. But unfortunately, you're not going to be able to do no sides or tail slides with a mattress. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, they're like, no slide, a tail slide, or what? They come in, they're like, the kid wants to do the trick, and he wants to do the tricky tricks. And you're like, well, okay, fuck, okay. That's really vague. I mean, you know, does he want to skate transitions? Does he want to skate street? You know, and it's just hilarious. Like, all day, trying to explain to people that don't skateboard have any interest in how the fuck a skateboard works is impossible. It's like how my doctor looks at me when he's trying to explain the surgery's going to do to me. I know that look. When I looked at him, I was like, oh man, he's looking at me with that look. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm going to be like, dude, you know what, motherfucker, just cut me open and do the surgery. I don't even care what you do. I know it's going to be dope. Like,
yeah,
I'm not
you
even
do
gonna,
you.
Yeah.
It's like when Homer Simpson was having heart surgery. We're going to cut you open and tinker with your ticker. Could you dumb it down a little?
Speaking of Homer Simpson, man, another little trivia thing. Matt Groening was from Portland, Oregon, and went to Lincoln High School, which is a huge skate spot that we all skate all the time, man, when I, lived there. It's these ledges that are white and red. You see a lot of clips of them of Silas and people skating this big out ledge. But that's the high school Matt Groening went to. But they actually has his autograph in the concrete there because he went back a million years later and, like, they had him do this little thing.
And his birthday was just a few days ago. Shout out Matt Groening.
No, man, shout out Matt Groening. No shit, I didn't know he's an Aquarius. Shit, he's like my wife. That's crazy. My wife's birthday was just back on the 31st. That's crazy. My birthday's coming up on the 9th of March, so that's crazy. Holy shit, bunch of winter babies, man. Holy shit. Man, shout out to Matt Groening. Fucking love that guy. Respect to that motherfucker. He was great, man. Seriously. Did you get to Bruce Hamill? Oh, I'm sorry, make a chop. What are you gonna say? I'm sorry.
No. I want to hear what you say. We were gonna say first.
Did you have to hang out with Bruce Hamill when you were on the set of Black Friday at all, or did you get to
Bruce Campbell? No. I literally I showed up before they were shooting to drop off the boards. So gotcha. Bruce Campbell was actually, Devin Saw was on set for like at least a couple weeks, but Bruce Campbell I think flew in for like 2 days to film that movie. Like he was just like in and out. Like I'm sure that they didn't want to pay him more than like whatever his rate was per day.
Well, he only had they only had to shoot scenes on I think 2 sets for him.
Yeah,
right. Because there was like the one shot in or like the one scene in the beginning where they're near the registers, and then everything else with him is in that back room or that office by itself.
So fucking awesome, dude.
But I mean, good for him. I mean, he's the fucking man. Like he should be like,
darkness.
Yeah, I'll be in that movie. I'll be there for one day, and you'll get everything you need from me. He's the best.
I didn't know that you. I didn't know that you also had Tourette's. You mentioned to me.
Yeah, I was that's one of those things a lot of people don't know about me. And if there's any humans out there listening to it, I just want to let them know they're not alone, man. I mean, it was one of the reasons I got so deep into skateboarding was Tourette's syndrome. Honestly, when I was 7 years old, my older sister was dating this guy that skated, and I thought it was cool. And I'd steal his board and go in the front driveway and fuck around with it while they were probably making out and doing shit that I don't want to think about. And I had all these nervous tics going on. I was always cracking my jaw and fucking spaz out in school, and tapping my fingers and doing shit. And my parents were sending me to all these different doctors. They had to take me all the way to Seattle because Portland, Oregon didn't even have a Tourette's, whatever disciplined doctor or whatever. And they put me on different drugs that sucked to make me hallucinate. Like the sort of guy they put me on this thing. It had to be a derivative of acid, like where it was like a patch, like a Nicorette patch, right? But they put it on your arm, and then like one night my skateboard turned into a fucking deer and flew out the window. But that's years later. But anyway, I got into skating, and it kind of like my Tourette's would kind of subside as I skated. And, it kind of took the edge off. Didn't get rid of it completely, obviously, but it would take the edge off. Yeah. And, it became kind of my new nervous tick was skating. Like I would do an add-on thing. Like if I bailed a trick, I'd have to do that trick and then add on 3, and all that OCD shit that goes with Tourette's would kind of manifest itself in a different way. And it honestly is what got me through school. It's what got through me life. And if it wasn't for skateboarding, I think I would have fucking went nuts with Tourette's and been just fucked. I mean, I still got nervous tics when I'm really stressed out and I'm really nervous. There's still things I do, but nowhere to the extent that I did as a child. But my parents put on all these meds and do shit.
Yeah, so it's not like in the movies where you're saying cock and balls every 2 seconds.
No, I don't. I went to school with a kid like that. He was fucking rad. We called him Pancakes because we'd yell pancakes all the time. They put me in
Pancake
the
Man.
School. Is that fucking dope, dude?
Call him the Pancake Man.
Yeah, dude. So I went to the school, Thomas Edison High School in Beaverton, Oregon. And it was a school for people with learning disabilities, right? And the pancake guy was fucking sick. I don't remember his real name, but he would, like, in middle of class, like, we'd be sitting there, right? And the teacher would be lecturing, like, okay, today we're going to be learning about 1812 battle or whatever. And he'd just yell, pancakes, pancakes! Like, he would just scream it out as fucking loud as he could. And then, like, if anyone stopped him, like, he'd have to do it in a series of 4. Like, if he got stopped before he said it 4 times, he'd start swearing up a storm. And so, like, if the teacher's like, okay, now sit down and relax, he'd be like, fuck you, dick,
Yeah.
It was so rad. I loved pancakes. I never had any audible tics, but I always wish I did because they were so fucking dope. I always just had, like fucking twitchy tics. But those guys, I just look like a tweaker when I'm tweaking. So I don't look any different from anyone else in, like, any major city, honestly. I just look like a normal meth head. But fucking the funny thing is Pancakes, dude. That guy was fucking dope as shit. I wonder if he owns an IHOP now or something. I sure hope he fucking does because he was dope. Like
I hope so too, or at least a Waffle House.
Yeah, and I was gonna say he owns an IHOP, but like secretly he just wish it was a Waffle House.
Yeah, he probably was the waffle window
damn
in
it.
Southeast Portland, Oregon. Now, fucking pancakes. It was just you just scream it out. It was like fucking like a scene out of Simpsons. Just like you'd be sitting there all quiet as fuck, just doing your shit in class, and all of a sudden you just hear this down the hall, pancakes. You're like, yep, he's at it again. Fuck yeah. It was just like,
Love
yeah,
that
I was
guy.
gonna laugh. I was like, this guy's fucking dope. Like,
Love
yeah,
that guy.
pancakes. Like, I love that guy. Like, when I grew up, I want to be pancakes, dude. Or your friend with the shaved head. That guy's cool too. If I
Yeah.
can just drink my own piss at some point in my life and make pancakes, I'm doing okay.
Dude, I was gonna say
Fucking-
drinking your own piss is pretty easy. I think doing it on film is the tough part.
Yeah, that's the tough part. I've never divulged, never tried it, but you seen your homie do that in that video. It was pretty impressive. I gotta admit, that was punk rock as fuck, dude. Just like your guys' East Coast. I mean, your tour all to the West Coast, but I mean your first stage of that, seeing that, I was laughing my ass off. Like, holy fuck, dude, that's no joke. He's just going for it. This guy is the real deal Holyfield. You know what I mean? Like he's not censoring shit. He's just going for that stuff. Just fucking, yeah, fucking
Oh, yeah.
badass. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah, he's
Fucking-
punk.
It's serious. Steve McQueen and Peter Lorre status being badass. It's like the movie
Well,
Four Rooms.
I'm glad you like the video. I always
I
want
love your guys'
I
work, man.
always want the tour videos to be like Barbarians at the Gate.
Yes. Fucking great. Beagle and fucking Kirchart taking the fucking boss's Jeep and fucking it all up. Hell yeah.
That's why
Great video.
every
I
time
have
we
this-
go on tour, Bigzo forces me to sell crack cocaine to people
It's true.
and then films it. And I
Sure.
say, listen, I don't think this is going to translate well. I'm 33. It's not as cute. Yeah.
Oh fuck, dude. Oh my god. Do you make this out of soap? Is it like faux crack, or do you have to like go find a real
No, we
like,
do. No, we do the real
bar?
deal. We do the real deal.
Holy
We're not
shit,
selling
dude.
no fucking. Yeah, we're not selling no.
You're not
fucking-
selling fake shit. You're selling, you're not
no,
taking Irish
no.
Spring. Right?
No. Oh
Oh my god.
Yeah,
get the
yeah,
fuck
we're
out of
not
here. You guys are
shaving up
cooking
on
crack?
Well, I
So
mean,
you
yeah,
guys
but just
know
for the
recipe?
tour
Like, you
videos.
guys get- Oh, that's fucking.
I mean,
punk rock
it's
as
not
fuck.
like
I love
it's
it,
not
dude.
like Breaking Bad. We're not like
Yeah, yeah.
starting an empire over here. We're just doing it for
No,
the
no,
tour
no, you're
videos.
just- Just do it for the tour video. Save up stuff money for gas and shit. Exactly, man.
Right. But yeah, we
There's
are
5,000 space bucks.
cooking crack and we are selling it during the tours.
So how do you get the
Specifically-
recipe for that? Like, is that something
you-
you can just Google, like crack recipe? Like, I mean, how the fuck does one make crack? Like, how does one?
Well,
even do
Tom
that?
has it from his grandma's recipe.
I have my grandma's recipe, but yeah, you can also get it. It's an Easter egg in the foundation, the box set, the one that looks like the Bible.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so it's
That's
an Easter
so
egg on
fucking
the
rad. This fucking
barbarians.
box
Yeah.
set. Like, the
Yeah.
barbarians. Dude, I have the original slides from Barbarians at the Gate somewhere around here. I'll text you pictures of them when I find them. Of Beagle and Kirchart driving around in mud and stuff. From the Matt Thompson photos, and I got those at Duff's when Duff's was going. I worked at Duff's for a little bit, and when they went out of business, they told me to take all the shit to the dumpster, and it was like folders and folders of old slides that they used for ads, and I didn't have the heart to do it. So I kept a few of the pages of slides for myself, and I took the rest to Grant Britain at the Skateboard Bag to archive for historical reasons. But I kept 2 of the slides of Heath Kirchart and Beagle in the Jeep covered in mud from Barbarians at the Gate. So I have some of the OG stuff from that set.
That's
That's
super
fucking crazy, dude. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking nuts. The fact that you're bringing, oh
What-
my god, you got fucking amazing, man.
What
Got actually
was-
good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. If you had more, I mean,
No,
interrupt
sorry.
you.
I'm just blabbing. Please cut me off anytime. I can go all day.
I was gonna
man.
ask. I haven't read. That was a book that you wrote, right? The
Yeah.
Skateboarding's Not a Fashion Show. What? I haven't read
Got
that.
it right here. Gotta
what
plug
is
my book on your show.
Oh
There
yeah,
we
plug
go.
the book.
Skateboarding
There it
is
is,
not a fashion show. Now,
Oh man, I love that cover. Can we say that one more time?
Yeah,
I know
please,
this is
Can-
this is an oral format, but I still.
can you
Oh,
give
man,
us
that's
a gist of this book?
Yeah, man. I can
If
read
you
you a
don't
fucking
mind.
poem right now if you want. I don't give a fuck.
Is
dude.
it a book?
It's
Is it a
pretty
book of poetry?
That's what it is, man. It's my satirical take on the world of skateboard retail, man. It's just things I've observed in the shop over the past 10 years. And I write poems about them. Obviously, I don't use real names, so if no one comes and punches me in the face. And it's really just, it's kind of a comedy meets. It's a dark comedy is really what it is. I'll read you a fucking little section right now. Fuck it, let's do it, man.
Please
All
do.
right,
And
Please
how's my
do.
mic? Is my audio okay? Because fucking my
Oh, yeah, it sounds
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Sounds good, dude. All right, man. Here we go. Here's the first poem. All right, so the title of this poem is The Outer Bearing Race. And we all know the outer bearing race is like, when you break a bearing, right, you can use it as a wedding ring. You can put it on your girlfriend's finger. You can use a bearing. A bearing race comes in handy for a lot of things after its life as a skateboard bearing, right?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So just give you a little backstory on this bearing. So anyway, sorry about this. I was using that book to hold up my tripod. Now it's like I got this fucking weird thing going on. Okay, here we go. Can you hear me okay? Is the audio check still good?
Oh, it's perfect.
All right, cool. Here we go. All right. Here's the fucking first poem in the book, man. It's like 200 pages, so I'm not going to give you the whole book because you'll shoot me. All right, here we go. Her blue pinstripe skirt. The overdose of Sangiovese in Siena, Italy. The 5 severed heads she had to walk by in Mexico City. The fen betrays the pool table squatter for his own lust of her long curls when curling on thin ice. Her timeless massage freed them all from sacrum strife. They all fell down the mighty haystack rock into her simplex A1 steak sauce personality. After the campsite burned for 7 days straight without remission, no railroad spike survived. The karma for blurring the line of cohorts and hormones is what I suppose was the god's intentions. They all were enchanted when she would scream out, "Awesome," before she was ready for an off-the-cuff adventure. However, when he would try to chime in on that advance after that one night prior where their anchors sunk into the river bottom sands on the port side whine of the ship, she would retort with, "I'm attracted to tall, dark, quiet, Latin, and handsome, not short, pale, loud, and Anglo-Saxon." Sorry, this tripod keeps moving. All right, hold on. We're going. My fucking phone is hilarious. Fear that only could have been installed deep from the rest of the faculty's passion, as she never let him show public displays of affection. After that grim afternoon, sitting at idle in the divided intersection. Meanwhile, the political clergy was in the backseat genuflecting. She was die-casted to hate him from a young age, and their love was hid inside a scrapyard Ford Falcon's roll cage. She swung her beauty like a wrecking ball until every male in her path would food fight and then fall. She spent years deflecting countless arrows of good fate, tossing chemical compounds on the aluminum lake. Every fucking canine wants to fish on the overbearing strait. Bark, bark, bark. Her red lipstick is only from eating out men's hearts. From Fred Meyer to Jewel Osco, she would denounce her throne and die gracefully alone, as all of her victims wish they just would have had stayed hidden under that pool table slate.
Wow.
This tripod kept moving, so that was a little snap of it, and I kind of fucking had to, like, the tripod kept moving on me because I was using the book to prop this up, which was hilarious, and I thought it would stay there, but like it kind of, sort of the audio kind of sucked on that, and I kind of, but yeah, that poem is about basically a bearing ring and like how it was a bearing, then it got broken, then it went through like a very loose woman through many people, and that bearing ring was like passed on different fingers, and like, you know, what it did to people's and dudes' brains, you know, it's kind of the synopsis of that poem, that particular, you know.
I didn't know it would be such a, you know, a romance poem. I thought that, you know, judging by the cover there, it was going to be like, fuck Supreme.
Oh, I got some heavy shit like that,
fuck
too. I mean,
the hype beasts. You know?
Oh, yeah, we pretty much are. Yeah, that's in here, too. We got plenty of that stuff. I mean, I got ones about a dude that got locked up in prison. Fucking, let's see, is this tripod sitting still finally? Sorry, that kind of sucked. It was hard to read that with all the fucking tripod moving around. But I got a lot of those in here too. I mean, I could go on for hours, man. I don't know how many of the viewers want to.
No, you don't want to give it out too much to the viewers. They're going to have to buy the book, okay?
Yeah,
which I do recommend everyone buying it.
They can get it on my website, educatecr.com. And like I said, man, I'm sorry I kind of had to like fucking jump around those lines. I kind of butchered them. It's really dark in this corner. I didn't realize how dark it was. Like, I can't even fucking see my own fucking letters. I was kind of like jumping around there for a minute, like, fuck, dude. But anyway, you know, so yeah, I mean, I could geek out on that for hours. But I wrote that book. Before that, I wrote a fiction book. I was born in the winter, man. So, you know, being dyslexic, I was told my whole life I would never be able to, you know, read and write properly, obviously. And obviously, you can tell I still have a hard time, you know, reading out loud.
You seem like a pretty well-spoken guy. You seem like a very verbose boy, you know?
Well, thanks, man. It means a lot to me because I feel like I was jumping around there so bad reading out loud. I'm still horrible at reading out loud. It's like, it's easier to just write shit and read it in my head. But Hido is the other book I wrote. I wrote that in the dead of winter a few years ago. I was just really, really bored. And, you know, there's nothing to do here in the winter other than type. And, you know, like I said, it was just kind of my way of proving wrong to the world that, you know, I could overcome that obstacle of writing and even, you know, comprehending shit. But long story short, I wrote another short book, Hido, that's about basically a guy that is hunting whale hunters. It's kind of a horror, you know, movie in a book, you know, for lack of a better term. It's kind of like the anti-Moby Dick. Basically, this guy's cruising around a submarine that he bought with cryptocurrency, and he's like hunting whale hunters, and so, you know, that's pretty much the premise of that. It's more like your guys' Boston Massacre video, you know, lots of blood, skating in the park, Dave Vase skating through a fucking, you know, a grocery store, shit like that, you know.
Yeah. I like.
But yeah, I
it.
mean,
Does it have any sort of hunting whale hunters? Is he an animal rights activist or something like that?
Yep, totally. That's exactly what he is, man. He's an animal rights activist, exactly, precisely.
Yeah.
And so he gets in a lot of entanglements with it, maritime law commissions and things like that. But basically, him and Dr. Octagon, like him and Cool Keith, pretty much go and buy a fucking old Soviet sub in the Kola Peninsula of Russia, where they decommission subs, off of an arms dealer up there. And it's kind of like Lord of War meets, like eco-terrorism meets a horror movie. I guess that's probably the best way of wording it, man. That's pretty much the book,
Yeah. And then you made did you make a Frankie Hill documentary?
I did, yeah. A documentary Frankie Hill, man.
Frankie Hill's fucking legend, dude. It's part and pal propaganda, dude.
That
gap absolutely. At the end of it.
Absolutely. Fuck yeah. The big meat tuck. Fuck yeah. So that was years ago, and I was still living in San Diego. When I first got laid off from AirSpeed and I was working at that car lot, I had a lot of downtime because I wasn't selling cars and I sucked at my job. I got this crazy email, again, like in the MySpace days, from Frankie Hill. He's like, hey, you guys got any room for a guy like me on AirSpeed? And I was like, I'm not on AirSpeed anymore. But, dude, I would love to do a documentary because what the fuck? And so, yeah, I mean, that was another snowball effect. I went up to Santa Barbara, me and my wife. We hung out with him for a couple of days and skated around his old spots and interviewed him and did, mad interviews, all day and night, him cooking bacon to him sitting, on the beach to everywhere. And then when I got home, I made a little trailer for that. And Pat Duffy was like, I want to be in that. I got some great Frank Hill stories. And then once I got the other section up on YouTube of Pat Duffy, everyone else kind of came out of nowhere. It was really cool. Lance Cochran was in there. Guy Mariano. We got Guy Mariano in there. Fuck, dude. I'm trying to think. Laban Fidus obviously was in there. I got tons of people, tons of notables. And that was a lot of fun. That project was a lot of fun, honestly. I could geek out about Frankie Hill all day. Great guy. Love him like a brother. To this day, when people come in, they're Frankie Hill fans in the shop, I'll send away for his autograph for him and shit like that. And so yeah, I mean, that was cool. I mean, that giant fucking knee tuck down that gap was insane. I mean, he was a really a goddamn pioneer. You know what I mean?
That was probably I was gonna say that must have been the biggest gap done at that time.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. It was fucking insane. I mean, it was like that was like the Aaron Jaws Hammocky, Chris Joslin type shit for that time. You know what I mean? It was very pronounced. I mean, I remember being a little kid with my friends and buying propaganda and breaking it out of the cellophane and watching it on my dad's VCR top loader and just being like, what the fuck just happened? And same with Ban This and, all the videos, everything that he was involved with, Hot Bash, he was always killing it. And then he destroyed his knee. And again, doctors weren't the way they are now. They weren't trained. They weren't as awesome as they are now, in the sense of understanding skateboarding. Physical therapists weren't on point, like we discussed earlier. So he had all kinds of scar tissue issues and all kinds of problems going on, where he was working at a liquor store at one point. And I don't give away the whole documentary, but anyone can go watch the whole documentary free on Vimeo, Vimeo.com. YouTube took down a bunch of sections, so don't watch it on YouTube because they took down all the important parts, because there's a lot of rights to music and stuff that was in the background or used in PAL videos or whatever, shit that wasn't cleared. So YouTube fucked it all up. So don't try to watch on YouTube, people. If you want to watch the Frank Hill documentary in its entirety, go to Vimeo, or you can just get the DVD from me. Or if you have a friend that has the DVD, just watch it at their house. It really weird. I mean, really weird story about that DVD. When we made that DVD, we had this fucking inquiry on our website. Can you send it to a PO box, New York, blah blah. Anyway, through like super like internet stockiness, I figured out it was Michael Diamond of the Beastie Boys bought a copy of it. So Mike D of the Beastie Boys bought a copy of the Frankie Hill documentary. That's probably my biggest bragging right about that documentary. Is like he literally bought a copy of it. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah,
love the Beastie Boys.
Yeah, and I then it hit me after that happened that in Looking Down the Barrel of a Gun, if you look at that music video from Paul's Boutique, Frank Hill's in it. They took a clip of Ban This from him from the PAL video, him doing a melon grab over a drop gap, like a really skinny weird. And so I was like, okay, like those dudes are obviously, rest in peace to MCA. Those dudes were obviously fans of Frankie Hill, which is just so rad. Like Frankie Hill's got fans in so many hidden corners and so many different places. I mean, even when Mike V fucking moved here, he's like, oh yeah, man, like I saw that Frankie Hill documentary. Like so many people will come up to me and thank me for making that documentary. It's funny, like that I even know watched it. Jamie Thomas Zero was on tour a few years ago through here, and of course we had him do an autograph stand at the shop and stuff like that. And somehow Frankie Hill came up because I got one of his autograph boards on the wall. And Jamie's just like, I like the board. I saw the documentary. It was good. I was like, oh, fuck. Like, so weird shit like that happens all the time with Frankie Hill, where like these dudes will just pop out of the woodwork that are known in different, fields, from entertainment to skateboarding to whatever. And they're fans of Frankie Hill. And they, it's cool that we were able to give them some shine and shed some much needed light on a guy that was one of the pioneers that didn't get enough, props for what he did and what he contributed to skateboarding at all. It's fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got to give props to the unsung heroes. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's You know, it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I agree, man. You have to give props to Unsung Heroes for real, dude. Like, it's really, really fucking, you know, he built a lot from that pyramid. Pat Duffy, Jamie Thomas himself, Jeremy Ray, all those dudes wouldn't have happened. And, you know, they even said in interviews, you know, like their inspiration was Frankie Hill. It kind of pushed them towards that fabric of skating, you know. Laban Fidius, too. I mean, I could go on. There's so many guys. And of course, now those guys stand on the shoulders of giants. I mean, we see it all the time, you know. I mean, every day I see crazy shit, like, where I'm like, what the fuck, how'd that happen? Like, skateboarding is so mind-blowing now. It's awesome. I'm happy it is, you know, but it's also totally amazing. You know, you watch a Shane O'Neill part, and you're just like, holy fuck, okay then. Like, all right, you're just nollie big heel flip, back tail slid a handrail. Okay then. All right, that's fucking crazy. I can barely do that trick off of a ledge. All right. You know, like,
yeah, or at all. Yeah.
You know, I celebrate and love all genres of skating. I just get sick of seeing the same shit crammed down our throats for the past 20 years, you know, and it's just weird, you know, like, I guess, or skate shop.
I get it, you know, same scenes in the video, monotonous material.
Yeah.
You don't hear me though.
Exactly. Hey, what that's from? That's a song. I've heard that, monotonous material. What the hell is it? Who is that? Fucking who's that? Goddamn, is that Nas? Who the fuck is that? I've heard that somewhere.
That's Dead Prez. That was a Caswell song in Bag of Suck.
Oh my god. Hip hop. Do. Yeah. Caswell Berry skated to it. Fuck. Oh my god. Caswell. I'm such a fucking idiot. I was like, sitting there, I was like, nah, fuck, I know this. Dude. Yes. Jesus, thank you, man. I was like, what the fuck? Dead Prez. Exactly. Dead Presidents. Oh my god, dude.
But
fucking Caswell's part.
But, you know, speaking of praising unsung heroes, I'm sure you have a million questions for us before we wrap this up, you know?
I do, man. You guys. So you guys, obviously you guys have had Ryan Gallant on there and stuff. And you know, you guys have been heavily involved with the Coliseum and all that jazz and True East and Eli Reed and all that. I kind of know that stage of it, but okay, for both of you guys, what got you guys into skateboarding? What was like literally what was the nucleus point where you went from, like you said, Little League and being forced into that from your parents to like skateboard? What was the I guess the poison of the well that made you drink skateboarding?
I mean, I guess it's not that interesting for me. I guess it was that kind of just imitating my older brothers.
Gotcha.
And,
yeah, man. Fucking dude, that's awesome. I take my older brothers. Fuck, that's cool.
And I stepped on one of their skateboards, slipped out, ate shit, and I've been doing the same thing ever since.
Hell yeah, that's fucking awesome. How about you, man? He's got the beer going. He's making me thirsty looking at that Paps.
I'm sorry. I'm so dehydrated right now. I just
No, you dehydrated, bro. You're getting intoxicated because you're dehydrated. You know what I mean? Yeah, keep it motivated. I'm just fucking with you, man. Don't be sorry. Like, there's no reason to be sorry unless your name is Arto. You're not Arto, so there's no reason to be sorry. Get it? Hey,
sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that got me into skating was my older cousin Eric.
Yeah,
who skated. You know, I think everyone typically has some sort of older, figure in their life where they're like, oh, they skate, I want to skate.
Yeah,
you know.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, that was the thing that got me into it.
Yeah, and first couple videos I got was first setup was Maple Team Board. This was right around the time 7 Steps to Heaven, and I saw Mark Johnson. I saw Mark Johnson in Thrasher 911 Emergencies, which was my first video.
Fuck yeah.
Me and Colin Fisk. And so I was like, Mark Johnson's my favorite skater. I want a Maple skateboard.
Fuck yeah.
And just because he was in that video.
Did you know Charlie Wilkins as well?
I've never met Charlie Wilkins. I mean, I'm a fan of his. Actually, Charlie Wilkins was at the first demo I went to. It was a Powell demo, 96. Charlie Wilkins, Mike V, Gershon Mosley, and Stacy Lowry at 8 Ball.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good lineup. It's a good lineup, man. That's a good squad right there. Yeah.
But
did you ever see Jim Gagney around there?
Jim Gagney? No.
Jim Gagney's
no.
A true skater. Okay. I was trying to think of some of those old school.
I skated for a few years. I could varial flip, and I was, skating the curbs. Yeah. And then Tony Hawk did the 9, and he came out with a game called Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. And I'll tell you, I think that actually was around the time when I was like, all right, I'm going to skate every day by myself. I don't give a shit.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, man.
And it's not because Tony Hawk did the 9. And it's not because I love Tony Hawk's Pro Skater so much, which I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a great
But
video
it just
game.
happened.
Tony's
It
a
just
great
happened
guy,
to be
very
that
humble.
time period.
I've always loved Tony. He's always a very humble guy, man. I was a very down to earth dude. Never got too big for his britches. You know what I mean? He's always down to earth, super good dude. He never lost the flavor of comedy. I see that a lot even around here. These dudes, they don't have any sense of comedy anymore in skateboarding. They don't. They're all serious. They're like stern. They're stoic, and they have this vibe like they're guarding a fucking missile silo with their skate spots and their creed. And it's like, dude, I love that you guys embrace comedy too. That's what, stone faces. That's what I love about you guys too. Is you guys understand there needs to be comedy in skateboarding. Like skateboarding and comedy go hand in hand, and those two things intersect each other. And I get so much shit for being comedic around here for that, and it's just kind of strange because I'm like, dude, that's obtuse. That's a part of it. And I've always loved Tony because he can always self-deprecate. He can always make jokes. Anytime I've ran into him at spots or anything, anytime I've ever had anything involved with him, he's always just been the most cool, humble, down to earth guy ever. He always answers his emails right away. He never tries to blow you off. And anyone has a reason to do that. It's him. I mean, he's like the ambassador of skateboarding to the normal world. Like literally, I got my hip surgeon's autograph, to hang on the wall. You know what I mean? Because that's the only skateboarder. I'm assuming. Well, he dropped it one day. He's like, I heard Tony Hawk and Joe Rogan the other day. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I thought I'll surprise him with Tony Hawk's autograph. So I fucking emailed Tony Hawk, can you send this guy, Dr. Westrum, at this address, your autograph? That'd be cool.
Joe Rogan mentioned Matt Tomasello on that podcast.
No shit. That's crazy.
He didn't mention him by name, but he described his manipulation boards that he was making.
Yeah, neither of them would admit to knowing him by name, but they just described the manipulation.
Isn't that crazy?
That's such an honor, dude. That's so cool that he did that. That's awesome. Because that's the next level. It's just like when Miles Davis was inventing different mouthpieces for the trumpet, trying to get different notes out of the trumpet. What he did on, like, if you listen to Bitches Brew, which a lot of jazz historians regard as like one of the greatest jazz albums of all time, where things shifted. And any kid out there can go look at Bitches Brew, Miles Davis. He was using different fucking filters and different mouthpieces and all kinds of crazy shit to get those sounds. And that's why so many jazz aficionados were like, how do you do that with the trumpet? They're freaking out, right? Just like how Tomasello, like, people look at his skate footage and people that respect skateboarding and love skateboarding look at it and go, oh my God, this is the next level. This is that Miles Davis shit. This is that fucking, you know what I mean? This is what we're going to be seeing. And it's beautiful because it's so just right there as a performance art piece. It's like watching a perfectly orchestrated ballet with props on stage that are going to be knocked over in unison at a certain time, that are staged at a certain time. I mean, what he's doing, I highly respect that, man. Give him a big hip hop hug for him, because I have so much respect for what he's doing, and Goy Miyagi, and everybody in that fabric, and your guys, it does that. It's amazing.
But I feel like the stoic cool guys are kind of like if Slash or somebody was to look at Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine, because people who are really good at guitar, they don't really actually like Tom Morello. They're like, what he's doing is a gimmick. He's doing all these techniques where he's using it like a DJ turntable. Yeah, the
yo-yo string. Yeah, turntables. Exactly. Scratchy's yo-yo string. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Tom Riley's like, exactly. He's got he's up on high in the neck. And what's weird is, like, those cool guy assholes, they would ruin everything for mankind. They have since the beginning of time. Since the caveman first brought home a mastodon meat, and they're like, no, I'm cool. Fuck that. I can't eat mastodon meat. I'll eat fairies. Like, since that time in history, there's always been the cool guys in society, no matter what field of vision you're into. They're gonna fuck up everything. They're the ones that like always fuck up progress. They're the ones that muffle the mouths of people.
They're the gatekeepers. They
are. They're the gatekeepers. They fucking
no. This is the way it's supposed to be done. This is the way it's always been done. This is the way it has to be
can't
done.
show their ankles. Exactly. We must enslave these people to build our railroad. They're the pieces of shit that have ruined society since the very beginning. We must exploit the rainforest and burn it down. They're the pieces of shit that are in charge of those things. You know what I mean? They're the fucking assholes that are the fucking full-on sociopaths that have fucked up everything for people like, empaths and fucking normally adjusted people, in this world that, are not that way. And it's just sickening to my heart, because you're right. I see it. And I thought skateboarding before I got in the industry wasn't like that. I thought it was this open, cool, fucking of course, growing up in Portland, Oregon, anything goes. Burnsides everywhere. Mark Red Scott sitting there fucking sucking on a urinal cake just to fucking weird people out. You got fucking crazy dudes with spray paint silver hair coming to the skate parks, fucking with shit all over their face. You know what I mean? Like, shit's going on everywhere. Everyone's being themselves. And then I moved away from there, and I didn't realize the rest of the world wasn't like that. I had this like rude awakening. And like you said, the cool guy, asshole guitar players, will shit on fucking Rage Against the Washing Machine, dude. You know what I mean? Like fucking, as I said, washing. That's
love,
funny. You know
love
what I mean?
Rage
Like,
Against the Washing Machine. No,
I love raging against the washer machine.
Rage Against the Washing
You like
Machine.
that?
Okay,
You like
yeah, that is what they're called from now on. Okay,
Yes. Rage,
you literally single-handedly just changed their name. Okay.
Sometimes you have a washing machine that you have to kick because it doesn't work right. You know what I mean? That's like what I think of. I get all fucking raw, dude. I get, I get like fucking, God damn, I can see his face. Fuck, he does all this shit with, oh God, I was gonna try to make a funny joke and I just fucking blew it, dude. Oh my God. The fucking lead singer Rage Against the Washing Machine, fucking, what's his name? Fuck. It's a Del Rocha.
Zach De La Rocha? Yeah.
Yeah, Del Rocha, yeah. Like, I scream like him when my washing machine's not working right. You know what I mean? And like, we're gonna be another bomb trick! No! Not enough bleach in the cycle!
Nice.
I don't know. I'm just trying to be fucking comedic here,
Yeah, that was good.
I loved it.
That was good.
I loved it. Okay.
I
do
some humor.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I guess I just.
I'm sorry. I love the comedy, but I just usually don't laugh out loud.
No, you can't. You can't as a podcast guy. You got to be like super, because it'll fuck up your microphone readings and shit. Me, I'm on a phone. You're on a real pro mic. It'll blow out everything. Just at home will get jacked.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it professional here. I don't want the audience at home knowing I'm an actual human.
I wish the audience could see that UFO that's landing on your ceiling right now, because that shit's fucking amazing, dude.
I know.
I wish they could see that thing. That thing is fucking cool as fuck, man.
Nate, you know what? Thanks again for being on the podcast. I love how, whoever I mention, you're always somehow intertwined in this skateboard industry with almost everybody that I've mentioned. It's incredible.
I'm honored, man. I served a lot of time in Southern California, man. 12 years in that place. You'll meet everybody in the skate industry. It's such a small, at least, no, I shouldn't say it is. I should say it was. At that time, it was such a small cottage industry. And literally, I got to know so many people, from every facet of skateboarding on such a fast scale when I moved down there. You know what I mean? It was just insane. And, just as you guys did, I'm sure during the Coliseum days, my God, look at the doors of ballroom. Speaking of Coliseum, props to fucking Alexis and coming in fourth in the Olympics, even in her 30s. That's fucking amazing. Like, holy shit, dude. Props to Eli Reed for going to become a dancer. Like, he's dancing now and shit, like, as like a badass, fucking dancer. Like, holy shit. And, you got PJ, who's gone to become a Sikh, and that's good for him. Seems like he needs some religion in his life, seeking. And Ryan Gallant raising Hensley and stuff. I mean, you guys have produced some amazing people out of Boston. My God. I mean,
we'll take all the credit.
You forgot Jeremy Rogers.
Oh, fuck. I love that guy. That's my twin. Did you ever see when I dressed up like him for Halloween?
I didn't see that. No.
No, I was going to mention that at the beginning, that you look exactly like Jeremy.
Yeah, if you Google it, you'll find my wife drew the treble clef right here and the Fear No Man tattoo. I shaved my head all short. I got a fake gold chain. I dressed up like him for Halloween one year in San Diego, and it went all over the place. It was like in Transworld and Jankum and you name it. You just get onto the web and put Nate Sherwood, Jeremy Rogers Halloween. You'll see it. It comes up everywhere. But yes, Jeremy Rogers.
Be doing that.
Yeah, fucking. I only met him maybe once or twice. Nice guy, real quiet. I didn't know him at all. But I remember people mixing us up because we both had, haircuts and we're hyper. So I just remember it just seemed like that was fitting to do that, whatever Halloween that was in the early aughts. But yeah, that's funny. If you look it up, you'll find it, man. It's pretty ridiculous. I wasn't wrinkly and old like I am now, so I look more like who knows? He's wrinkly and old now too. What am I saying? It's like he froze in time. It's like he was fucking Walt Disney or some shit.
Yeah, he's not still 15.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no shit, right? None of us are. Fuck, we're all old. Now, where is Jeremy now? Does anyone know what happened to that guy? Is there any updates on that dude? Is he like alive? Is he okay?
I think I don't know. From his Instagram, he seems like he hangs out around New York a lot. I know he pops by Boston every now and again, but I haven't seen him around.
What does he do to eat? How does he feed himself? You know what I mean? That's why I was wondering about shit like that. Like,
I know.
He's
probably selling steroids, honestly.
Yeah. Could be. Probably selling steroids. I mean, that's a good front. Happened to one of my sponsors. I mean,
I'm basing that off nothing for the people who are listening. No. I just wanted to make a call back to earlier in the episode.
Right. Yep. Anyone's just now tuning in, they need to know that we were talking about one of my former board sponsors, the guy that owned a guy busted.
For anyone who started listening to the podcast and fast forwarded right to the end.
Yeah.
I want to let them know.
This isn't a live radio show. You're more than welcome to go right back to the beginning so you can get all of it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the Can't Russell one, man. I was laughing my ass off about the fucking Pierce Smollett section. Like I said, I was like, that's exactly how I met Smollett, except it wasn't in a parking lot with a slapping grind curb at Myron Frank. It was in a parking garage, but it's pretty much the same fucking shit. Just there he is, fucking blazing away. What the fuck, you know? And
Smollett, dude. When you meet Smollett, you get Smollett. All right.
Yep, exactly. I love that guy. He's a salted earth real motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like seriously, I was like trying to think if there's any questions I have for you guys written down, man. You like this, dude? Like your guys is you know, when are you guys planning to go on another tour, man? You guys got any in the hot box coming up, or?
I'm trying to plan like a summer tour, but
Nice.
you know, it's in the early stages. You know, you gotta, you know, we're all working men. We're from Boston. We're working class.
Yeah.
So,
I saw in your videos there's that guy with the good New England accent impression that was riding the Boston T. Like he's a good kid, you know. He goes down there like, you know, Paulie style. That motherfucker like, I thought he had the thing going. You know what I mean?
good kid, hard worker.
But yeah, you guys are hardworking motherfuckers from Boston. You know what I mean? So I get that.
So everyone's got to get, you know, time off from their jobs, and we all got to coordinate it. But it's in the works. You know, maybe we'll go to Iowa. I've always wanted to been. You know,
dude. I got a guest room and I got a huge front yard. You guys can camp and stay in my guest room and whatever. I got your back. Come, my wife will cook you the best dinner ever. She like loves cooking. I would love to have you guys here, man. Like I said, I got about 9 months till I can skate again, but fucking, you know, I will definitely, you guys can hang out as long as you fucking want, dude. Seriously. I've had plenty of friends come from out of town and visit me over the years. And, you know, Kurt Hayashi visited me not long before he passed away. And I mean, I could go on about hours about people who visited, but a lot of people come here and they're tripped out by how many skate spots we have. I mean, honestly, like it's like fucking, who was it? It was Chris Cole. The first time Zero came to town, I was taking him around downtown Cedar Rapids. He's like, this is like a mini Barcelona. What the hell? Nothing's knob. There's all kinds of skate stuff. I'm like, I know, Chris. It's fucking great, right? Like, because it's like skateboarding is such a small thing here that like you barely get busted. I mean, saying you don't get busted is a lie, but like you know, cops will kick you out, but it's not like this gnarly, like they're in your face, they're knobbing you, and like it's hilarious. Now after I've lived here for 10 years, I pretty much know every cop, and it's hilarious how many cops come in and buy shit for their kids that skate and stuff, or I'll see them out and about or whatever, or like I'll get pulled over, they're like, oh hey, how's the shop going? You're the skate shop guy. It's like hilarious. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I've never lived anywhere like this. Like one time this cop busted me in a parking garage. He's like, oh man, Nate, skate shop guy. Some lady called, she works here. She told me like, I don't know, I gotta kick you out. I don't really give a fuck. You just gotta leave and come back or something tomorrow. I don't know. Like it's hilarious. Like it's like the movie Superbad everywhere. Like the cops are the most chill in the world. There's this one cop, Josh Bell, who actually rips. Shout out to that guy. Like he shreds like a skater in the park. Didn't even know he was a cop. So one day he came in to get some bearings from me in uniform. Like he was all in the gear. I'm like, what the fuck? Like all I heard is the Bad Boys song playing. Like Bad Boys, Bad Boys. Like what the fuck? Like holy shit, this dude's a cop. Like wow, you know, like it's a trip. It's the weirdest town I ever lived in my life, dude. Like it's totally the opposite of every other city I lived in. It's like strange. I live in a David Lynch film, bro.
Yeah, I love it. David Lynch, one of my favorite directors, also an Aquarius. Well, I love it. You know,
fuck yeah, I didn't know that. How about you? What's your birthday, bro?
February 12th, also an Aquarius.
Oh, fucking Aquarius. All these fuckers up in the air around me. All you water bearing. My wife's a fucking Aquarius. Holy shit, I'm surrounded by fucking Aquariuses. Keep fired, Aquariuses.
I'm a Cancer. Quote.
Oh no shit, that makes sense. I'm a Pisces. I you know, we're both water signs. We're supposed to flow.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
That's what Tom was thinking. That's what Tom was thinking.
Exactly, man. Just exactly. Ian Blavitz status. Like we just want to float, man. And when I was busy drowning, we float. Even when I'm skipping lines because I can't read in the dark and fucking up my own poetry online, fucking, you know, but we just got to go with the flow and just flow it. You know what I mean? That's all we got to do.
Exactly.
We just got.
Well, you know,
shit. Big shout out to. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It looks like you're about to end it. I feel bad.
No, I was actually gonna say, is there anything you want to plug before we end it? So.
Fuck yeah.
Or shout out, you know, because you seem to be starting with the shout out. So
yeah, shout outs. I would like to say thank you to Kepros Physical Therapy, especially Shannon and Garrett, because they're gonna get me back on my skateboard.
Shannon and Garrett, props. Fucking legends.
Fucking legends. The best of the best with honors, sir. Just like Men in Black. You know what I mean? They are the fucking greatest of the greats. Dr. Westerman, Robbie Westerman, who used to skate in 7th grade. He told me he had a blind board with independent trucks, and now he does surgeries and fixes hips. And he's making sure people like me keep skateboarding. Huge props to him. Obviously, his partner in crime, Dr. Courtney, who like moved my hip around when I was under anesthesia. Big props to motherfucking Nikki Pop, the anesthesiologist who was like the funniest lady ever. She put me out on ketamine so I didn't have to use opioids, so I wouldn't get, you know, on opioids. So that was rad. She gave me non-opioid derived drugs. fucking huge props to her. Also, I'd like to give big props to my wife, Lindsay Podsimak. Plugs, check it out. Skateboard is not a fashion show. You can get the book on my website, edgeskatecr.com. If you're ever in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, swing by the skate shop, say hi to us. We don't really sell that much stuff online. We're just a brick and mortar mom and pop shop. Been there for 10 years. Huge props to fucking Fancy Lad Skateboards for pushing the envelope with skateboarding and having my dumb ass on here. Super honored. I just feel like the Force Cup of skateboarding. Big props to these guys. Without these guys putting time in after long days at work, wrenching away in the battlefield, keeping it real like Holden Caulfield, episodes like this wouldn't be happening. We wouldn't have the Smithsonian of skateboarding, and history will be preserved. So big kudos to you guys. Pat on the back to both of you gentlemen, and also to that cool feline that's cruising around the room right there. That cat looks dope, like a pounder of key. For real, I just, big props to Boston, big props to Ipswich, big props to 7L Esoteric, big props to fucking Millbury, big props to the Commons, big props to Harvard Square, big props to the Freedom Trail, big props to fucking all the beer I've drank out there that probably destroyed my liver. If I die of cirrhosis of the liver like John Coltrane, let it be known that it was because of Boston. I love your fucking city. I love New England. I fucking love the attitude there. If I ever win the lottery, I'm going to give you guys like $20 million just so you can do Fancy Lad full time, not have to work anymore. I'm moving to fucking Boston. We're going to hang out.
That's what I like
We're
to
going
hear.
to fucking hire Sarah Silverman to do our commercials. We're going to fucking find Bill Burr. God damn it. We're going to get him into our commercials. We're going to fucking blow this shit up like Waco, Texas. And we're going to spread it around deadly like asbestos. It's going to be fucking unbelievable like EMF and awesome like Blossom. You know what I mean?
Definitely, definitely going to find Bill Burr.
And we definitely appreciate the Wu-Tang references there. So that's
I'm happy you caught those, dude. I'm happy.
Oh,
dude,
my God.
You are awesome. You are a true believer of the Wu, dude. The fact that you caught the Wu-Tang fucking reference, dude, oh my God. Like, there needs to be a buzzer. I'm sending you a 12-pack of whatever beer. I'm sending you something in the mail, goddammit. Text me your address. Because the fact that you fucking caught the Wu-Tang reference, you are amazing. Most people would not catch that shadow boxing shit right there.
Well, honestly, I gotta say the Wu is coming through, and the outcome is critical,
dude. Exactly. You got to watch your front. You know what I mean?
Fucking with my style is sort of like a miracle.
Exactly. Oh my God, you're fucking awesome, dude. I wish I was in that basement with you guys right now. I so wish I was in that basement hanging with you guys right now. Like, dude, this is so boring, like fucking a suburb of Portland right now. There's a suburb named Boring, Oregon. But anyway, like, that's a funny reference. But like, I'm just in a room, fucked up, from hipster.
That looks like a good room. No one's bad mouthing the room.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as good as the Fancy Lad podcast studio that we have. But,
awesome, dude, for real, man. I got so much love for you guys, man. Seriously, thank you for having my dumb ass on here. It means a lot to me.
Thank you for being on. We
appreciate
it.
Washed up has been myself being recognized. I just gotta say, it's if you guys ever come to Iowa, get out of Boston, I'll give you like the best barbecue you ever had in your life. We'll shred around everywhere. It'll be fucking amazing. We'll skate. Thanks to Dr. Westerman and Garrett and Shannon, I'll be skating again and we'll be kicking it. And bring Dave Bay with you. Kidnap him. Get him away from the wife and the kid for a bit because I miss that fucker so much. I miss his jokes. When me and my wife were in Boston for American Misfits tour, it was like the tour ended in Boston, right? This true story. I can't believe I did this interview and didn't talk about this. So the American Misfits tour for season 3 ended in Boston. It literally ended in Boston. Everyone flew home except me. I stayed for like almost a week after. I just decided to get a hotel. It was right downtown there by where the Boston Herald is. I can't remember the name of this cross street. It was like the name of the hotel. I'd be like the Fitzgerald Hotel or something. It was like some hotel that's been there since like fucking like tricorn hat days, right? And like since the days of like fucking God, I can say his name, Addis, fucking anyway, fuck it. One of the founding dudes, one of the first guys to fall, from fucking Concord, like lived there or something at one point. Anyway, long story short, the American Misfits tour ended. Laban and Ted them all flew back to California. We just got done shooting season 3 for Field TV. My wife flew out to meet me so we could fly back together, but spend like almost a week in Boston, 5 days. We hung out with Dave Bay. We hung out with this chick. We went up to some restaurant. There's a jazz pianist that kicked ass. We drank some awesome beers, had some great drinks. Long story short, I went to a fucking Red Sox game. I went fucking all over fucking South Side, checked out some great restaurants, checked out some great murals, some great art. I love your fucking city, dude. In other words, if I could live there, I would live there. I didn't know you guys at the time, or I would have hit you up. I only knew Dave. And Dave had a bunch of shit going on at that time. I remember this chick, so it was kind of like in and out. He had to get back out to Cape Cod or some shit. He had something going on out there. But anyway, long story short, I had a great time in your city. I did all the touristy stuff, did the Freedom Trail. Anyway, fucking props to Boston. I love that fucking place, man. I love all the music that's come out of there over the years. I mean, fuck, dude, I could go on for hours about that shit, dude. Much respect to you guys, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
If I would have known you guys then, I would have kicked you up. God damn it! That was 2009. That was summer of 2009. So it was a while.
We're gonna have to take your word for it.
We didn't.
You
We
know?
didn't. Yeah, we didn't become anybody until 2011. You know, so that makes sense.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, it was summer of 09 when I was out there. I think it was summer. Oh God, it might have been summer 08. Fuck, I don't know. It was 09 or 08. Either way, Laban and Ted would correct me on it. It was. You can ask Bay. He'll remember because I remember buying him. I could write it off at the time for everything. So I remember buying Dave and his chick dinner and just being like, "Fuck it, get whatever." He's like, really? Like, I don't care. I'm gonna charge it to the game. Like I was just fucking sending, tax write-offs. I didn't give a shit. Good times.
Well,
I miss those days.
Well, Nate, once again for being on the podcast, and being, like I said, one of the founding fathers of this clown brand of skateboarding. And, we're doing our best to legitimize it, and within the skateboard industry. And that's why we keep fighting the good fight.
Keep fighting this fucking good fight, damn it. That's what I'm saying, man. Keep the press flips alive. Keep the late flips alive. Keep the fucking wall ride variations alive. Keep all the awesome, like, I can go on for hours about your guys' skating. But the historians, 5,000 years from now, the next species that will inhabit Earth, when they find those hard drives, they will see all this and they'll be like, wow, someone was doing different shit. You know what I mean? We'll be like the Fela Kuti of fucking skateboarding. You know what I mean? We'll be the Arnett Coleman of skateboarding. We'll be the goddamn fucking, I could go on for hours. We could be the Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman. I'm trying to think of a comedian. Andy Kaufman. That's Andy Kaufman is skateboarding. Because that's a comedian that gets a lot of rep, for his method acting, right? But I think that's what it is. We're the Andy. Me and you, we're the Andy Kaufmans of skateboarding. No one gets us; they don't get it, but the people that really do, and it means a lot to us. You know what I mean?
We've always tried to be
alternative comedy ahead of its time.
Yeah, we've always tried to be the Tony Clifton of skateboarding, but
yes, Tony Clifton was so great with his big glasses. Oh, Tony Clifton! I love that old Italian. I love that guy. Exactly.
That's a good Tony Clifton. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it very much. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I'm Stretch Armstrong here. You know what I mean? But seriously, man. Like I said, man. Big props to you guys. You guys have a pleasant evening, man. I much love you guys. Thanks for having me. It was really cool to learn more about you guys. I really appreciate. Oh shit, my battery's dying. Fuck. It says low battery. Battery. It's found in me. Battery. You know what I mean? Metallica, right?
I didn't know we had James Hetfield on the podcast.
We
Jesus
did,
Christ.
Because my battery's dying, so I had to fucking sing that. That's why I sing. You actually get an extra 5 minutes on iPhones. Apple actually gives you extra 5 minutes on the phone. If it says the battery's dying and you scream out the lyrics to battery, it'll actually do that for you.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, just like when you type, if you type pew, 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 or congratulations to someone, it does all that weird effects on the text messages on iPhone. Same thing as if you sing, battery.
Well, we have a real qualm with whenever I write hell yeah, it says heel yeah. But
Oh, yep, exactly. Yeah, that does suck. I hate that it does that. Or frickin' instead of fucking and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
bullshit.
ducking.
Yeah,
ducking.
Yeah, ducking. God, it's so fucking horrid, right? I hate that.
Nate.
It's like, why would I say, God, I wish I was ducking you right now?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's too good, man. Too fucking good, brother. Too damn good, man. Much
Nate,
love.
We're gonna have to continue the jokes in person one day.
Yeah.
But until then,
Oh man, I want to get a frame grab of you guys real quick of all of us together. Hold on a second. I'm trying to fucking do this frame grab on the phone. Here we go. Hey, put your my screen's blocking. Aim your head out just to the left. No. Get your beard. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, perfect. There you go. Yeah, go in the middle. There we go. Okay. Uno, dos, tres. No, fuck, I hit the wrong button again. Hold on. We're gonna do it again. Okay, put your heads in again. Sorry. Here we go. Uno, dos, tres. Yes, I got a frame grab. I'm gonna put this on all my social media and plug it, dude.
Oh, hell yeah.
So,
all right,
let me know, man. There we go. Dude, sick. Thank you, bro. Sorry about that. Dyslexic is a motherfucker. I hit the wrong buttons. But
no
all right,
problem.
man.
We'll talk to you later, and let me know if you can get us on AirSpeed sometime.
Yeah, no shit. Those guys hate me more than fucking. Those guys hate me more than Palestinians hate Israel, dude. Trust me. It's no good, man. All right, brother. I appreciate you guys. Much love. Take care and have a good night, all right? Keep up the good work, man.
Thank you
so
much,
one love,
Nate.
brother. Peace.
Peace, man.
Peace, guys. Take care. Peace in the Middle East. All right, yep, bye-bye.
Oh, God, that was great.
Oh, my goodness. That was very good.
Man, it's just having Nate Sherwood on the podcast, I thought it was going to be great, and then I promised you a legendary skater, and I think I delivered.
Yeah, I think you came through with your promise of a legendary skater. And then you came through with Nate Sherwood.
Right. And quite frankly, I'm surprised that they didn't make the movie I Am Legend based off of Nate Sherwood.
Right. Yeah, they were like, we could get Will Smith.
Yeah.
Or we could get Nate Sherwood.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a tough call.
They went with Will Smith, though.
I know.
Which is weird.
I mean, he was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
He was the freshest of princes of Bel-Air.
Right. Can you think of a fresher prince?
Well, no, I couldn't. I just said he was the freshest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
No, that's what I'm saying as well, though. So I feel like we're agreeing.
Well, as far as fresh things, I kind of think of like freshly squeezed orange juice.
Mm-hmm. Freshly squeezed lemonade.
Freshly squeezed lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
Milk lemonade. Round the corner fudge is made.
Uh-huh.
And maybe some fucking fresh fucking mint, fucking double mint gum or something.
Yep. As they say, milk, lemonade, round the corner fudge is made. Also, more milk.
Yeah.
If you try.
Yeah, it's weird that no one knows the full version of that song.
Right. Milk, lemonade, round the corner fudge is made. Also, more milk if you try.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of like the full version of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song. People don't really know that one.
West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days. Chilling out, relaxing, maxing, cooling, shooting some b-ball outside the school when a couple of guys, they were up to no good, started milking my prostate.
In the neighborhood?
Oh, yeah. No, I guess that would actually make it fit better, yeah, if we said in the neighborhood. But, yeah, just more to the point, they started milking my prostate.
I remember having a very heated argument with my brothers growing up about the
whether or not they
line.
could milk your prostate.
No.
And they were like, no, we'll prove it to you.
No, we didn't really know what milking or prostates were.
Until this fateful night.
No.
You sound unsure. So
no, we were at a tender age that was, we hadn't, innocence was not lost yet.
Oh, okay.
So, but it was, can you just sing the first line again so I can hear which one you say? Now this is a story all about how.
Oh, okay. So now this is a story all about how my life got twisted upside down.
Okay. So, I believe I agree. At the time, I was on your side, and I was like, no, it says twisted.
Oh, what do they say? Flipped?
Yes, they say flipped,
flipped.
Turned upside down.
Yeah, when my life got flipped, turned upside down.
Yeah, and I was so positive that I think I bet like $5 or $10, which was like my life savings at that time. Yeah, which was
and you lost.
And I lost.
Fuck.
So all I'm saying is be careful like when you lose that stuff, because it'll stick with you for the rest of your life and it will hang over your head. So keep in mind, if you fail at something, you will be doomed to remember it for the rest of your life. So I don't even know why you're even going to try.
Also, if you're trying to write sick verse, just keep in mind that you're going to want to end each sentence on the beat and not carry on to another sentence. You don't want it to be where my life got twisted upside down. You want it's got to be two separate thoughts where my life got flipped, turned upside down. Yeah.
First it got flipped. Oh, what happened after it was flipped?
Well, it got turned upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like a semicolon effect there. You don't want the
It's like we're taking songwriting lessons from Will Smith here on the podcast.
It is kind of like dude, is this another segment of songwriting lessons from Will Smith on the podcast?
Yeah, I think it is.
Sicky song.
Song writing tips with Will Smith.
All right, we're back here on another episode of songwriting lessons from Will Smith.
So I'm just going to mention some of my favorite Will Smith moments of songwriting. So in the song Getting Jiggy With It, he says, "Cig a cigar like from Cuba Cuba, I just bite it it's for the look. I don't light it."
Right.
Now, you see, that is promoting a good role model for the kids.
Absolutely.
And that's what I love about Will Smith's songwriting.
I always want my kids to look up to someone who's sucking on a dry cigar.
It's unlit.
Unlit. You know, nothing coming from it. It's like, you know, you can have that nice bottle of bubbly or champagne. Yeah. Don't pop the cork.
No.
Just, you know.
Or if you pop it, don't drink it.
Don't drink it. Just put the nozzle in your mouth and take a few photos with it. Yeah. It's for the look.
I only hit it once, but I didn't inhale.
Right. Classic Clinton.
Yeah.
Tastes good, but I wouldn't know because I didn't inhale.
Exactly.
Classic Clinton.
Wait, you don't think Will Smith was talking about the same cigar?
Oh, I think so. He says, "Bite it is for the look. I don't light it," because there are,
juices.
There are juices on this. I don't know how they will react to a flame.
Yeah, no one knows.
And that's why in the chorus that they go,
the Lewinsky juices.
You know, they go, na, 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 na.
Na, 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 na.
Tastes good.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So that was one hell of an episode of...
Is this the Fancy Lab podcast? Wait, no. What was it?
Will Smith?
Learning lyrical excellence with the Smithmeister?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now that we're back on the Fancy Lad podcast, you know, we should probably wrap this up.
We definitely should wrap it up because it's been a while since we've wrapped up an episode.
Yeah. And you know what? We're going to have to wrap up
this one,
and we're probably going to have to wrap up the next one after we do it too.
I think honestly we should probably next one we should double wrap just to be smart. Yeah.
Just to be safe.
Yeah, just right from the get-go.
You know, it's what Will Smith would have done.
Oh, absolutely. And I think he's probably still doing that, honestly.
Yeah. Well, in that case,
do you have anything you want to say to the listeners?
Until next time, keep on rocking in the free world.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.